Go ahead and start the stream.
Okay, awesome.
Okay. Yes.
Welcome to our 10:30 p.m. draw.
Yes, welcome to the 10:30 p.m. Draw. I believe this is draw number 10 thereabouts of the Francis Dykes Memorial Bonspiel. We're getting started right here on Sheet B, our featured sheet. We've got Team Green out of Philadelphia against team calling themselves Poor Decisions. They are out of the Triangle Curling Club in Durham, North Carolina. Joining me here in the booth, this is Mike Sell of the Potomac Curling Club. Joining me in the booth here are a whole bunch of people. I'm just going to let introduce themselves.
Oh, I'm Lori. I'm a curler here at Potomac.
I'm Betsy Cooper. I'm Laura's fiance and a non-curler.
And I'm Nick Zadlow, and I'm the third lesbian in this trio.
Dykes on Dykes on Dykes. Here we are.
I mean, that is the name of the event. You really can't get better than that.
It's Dykeception.
And for those of you who, for whatever reason, have not been on here for the previous 9 draws, this event is called the Dykes because it's named after a gentleman named Francis Dykes. But you know, who really cares?
Yeah, we can make this joke.
Wait,
It's fine.
the last time we hosted this event, we made T-shirts. The back just said, "The Dykes, it's not what it sounds like." But we're going to go ahead and just make it what it sounds like, apparently.
Yeah, I think, it's the 10:30 draw. It's okay.
Yeah, no, on Friday night. We just had the boat races. We're all a little bit wet anyway, and you can take that however you'd like.
That's right. It is Friday night. The winds are howling. The stones are roaring. You make yourself a cocktail and settle in, because we got a game.
Yeah,
We got a game, and we got... Never mind.
yeah it might be
Yeah.
the end times right now. It's
So
fine.
it looks like Triangle has hammer in this end, apparently.
Oh.
They are yellow. Looks like they've just thrown up a good centerline guard.
So I noticed that Triangle is called Poor Decisions, but it's P-O-U-R Decisions, because that's a pun. That's
Puns
clever.
are great.
And the skip of the team with the red rocks is named Green, so that should confuse everyone.
Yeah.
Yes, and just for those of you who are watching or listening for your other teams, over on Sheet A, we've got a team from Bucks County, skipped by Dave Schmel, throwing the Redstones, and a team calling themselves the Suicide Squad. There's another pun for you.
Oh, nice.
And they're from here at Potomac, but I couldn't get that to fit in the box. And those 2 games on Sheet A and Sheet B, those are A-event games. Those are championship events. Those are undefeated teams. That's the big action. Over here on Sheet C, we've got what my circle likes to call a Potomac death match. We have 2 teams here out of Potomac curling in a lout game. So one of these teams, their tournament will end tonight. And the other one, maybe just they'll wish it ended. Who knows? But that is a B event game. And the next game for either one of those teams isn't going to be till tomorrow night. So whoever wins basically gets tomorrow off anyway. So one way or another, I think they're both going to be hitting the bar tomorrow.
And that's probably on purpose, because really the important thing on Friday night is hanging out at the bar.
You're not wrong.
Yeah. I did some of that before this.
Yeah.
What?
We
hang out at the
prepped.
bar.
I'm scandalized.
I know.
I did not hang out at the bar, but I did make sure to retrieve a beverage because, you get a little parched here on the microphone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talking makes you thirsty. Just a fact.
Is there something happening on the sheet? I had no idea.
So it looks like Yellow's sitting in the just biting top 4, and they have a little bit of cover, and Red is coming to take that out.
Really nice shot by the guard there. And a little flop under. That's a beautiful takeout.
Good spot.
Excellent.
Maybe it's maybe a little bit of the rock exposed there.
Maybe half of it.
Would be a lot more if they had a left-handed shooter, but not enough teams have those, if you ask me.
They do have the left-handed rocker. Is that on sheet C?
That's on Sheet C.
Oh, that's criminal.
Well, sometimes you need a left-handed rock, and it's just not where you want it.
How like life.
So Yellow's going after that stone, and they
Nice shot.
remove it and roll out a little bit open to the side.
Still a good shot to remove that half-buried rock.
Yeah. Nice shot.
And not a bad roll. It's exposed, but it's out there in the wing, I mean, you could go after it, but you're not going to get necessarily to a great spot. I mean, you could roll to the center, but you'd still be exposed that way.
It would only be a small roll to the center, and you don't have to be real precise on it.
Yeah.
But they're going for it.
Oh, I mean, I think you've got to go for it. You don't want to just leave it there and let the yellow team start piling them in the house.
I have nothing to say to that.
Let the record show Nick Datlow had nothing to say. Oh, but they wrecked on the guard.
Yep.
And the guard doesn't peel. It's actually just going to promote to the tee line under that pile over there. So yellow is now actually going to be sitting 2 stones.
Yeah, and that yellow that just got hit in is behind some guards, so that'll definitely be hard to get
might
out.
stay there for a while.
Yeah.
Huh?
That's a tough break.
So would you say they're hurrying hard now?
No, because they're not sweeping.
But he was for a second.
They were hurrying hard for 1.5 seconds.
They were not hurrying. They were hurrying soft.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Not a bad draw there for yellow. Yellow lies 3 and covering the 4-foot circle pretty well. So red is going to have either a pretty tough draw or, I guess, a hit and roll. Looks like they're going to try to take out the top stone here.
I think that's probably the best bet.
Sweepers are on it.
They're around the guard, pretty close to nose.
Nice shot.
And
Still
that
leaves
yellow
them
stone is
sitting
on the
third, though.
Yeah, not shot, so.
And it's not covered, so
Oh, here's your overhead view. Red clearly lying third, not touching the 8-foot circle there at all.
I think that triangle here is going to try to nose that rock to both remove it and leave themselves covering the approach to the center of the house.
Ooh.
Ooh,
Ooh, a flash.
that is an unfortunate miss.
Tough break.
How many rocks are left? 3.
Yep.
A
It's the second vice stone for red.
little hit and flop under would be nice. I think that that's not enough ice.
Yeah. Looks like they're calling a draw.
They're probably trying the heavy draw, but I think it's going to overcurl a bunch. As I remember, Philadelphia has so much straighter ice than we do.
They do make some contact and push the yellow stone out, but they're going to roll to the sideline on their own. So still leaves yellow lying 1.
It does cut the danger down.
Yeah.
They're not looking at 3 now. They're looking at 2.
So are these the skips we're going to throw now?
Yes.
Excellent.
The skips are about to deliver their first rugs.
Okay.
In case you couldn't figure out, Betsy is not a curler.
I am the voice of the non-curlers tonight. If you were watching the Olympics, didn't know what was going on, I knew.
You can be the Vic Router, and
That's what I was going to say. You need a Vic Router on your commentary to ask the
right.
other commentators questions and make us look smart.
Yeah.
and that makes me what Russ
That's
Howard,
why I'm
and
here.
you're Kathy Gauthier, and you're like Brian Mudrick.
Sure. I actually don't know who that is, but
So Triangle takes out that rock, and now they're sitting 2 again.
So Philadelphia's got the hammer here, right?
I believe. Yes.
So the scoreboard says they do, but I don't know if that was set up like that before they started or if they actually did that on purpose.
I think.
I like. It looks like there are 2 red rocks.
Yeah,
and 1 yellow
actually,
rock.
it does look like there are 2 red like.
That makes sense because if that was the yellow skip throwing, then this would be red skip throwing there first. Actually, he's about to throw, so I will hold that thought.
Once again, we have some lovely pants on this sheet.
We really do. I like the plaid pants.
Yeah, no, that's very nice.
I'm all about plaid.
Yeah, you are.
Plaids are
Fact.
important. Look,
But do you own a plaid pant?
I own plaid pajama pants.
Oh, yes, you do.
Oh, they're going to get a nice hit on the side of this. They're going to. Oh, they're not actually. They're going to.
oh yeah, no, they wanted a little more weight on that. I think they wanted a little to push that out and to get a little bit of a roll.
Yeah, that actually. It looked like it was going to be a nice hit, but it just comes up a little light.
I
You
thought that-
actually can't see the yellow stone behind our scoreboards there, but it is still pretty much fully in the 12-foot circle there.
I thought that had more weight than that.
Yeah, it looked
It looked like it was
really
going to hit a
nice.
little
It
thin,
looked
too,
really
and roll the
nice.
center line, but it just didn't have it. So anyway, while we wait for the yellow skip to get back in the hack, I'll go ahead and run down your team lineups here. Throwing the Yellowstones now, we have a team from the Triangle Curling Club. Lead, Kevin Gilliland, I believe. Is that how that is written over there?
That looks right.
Second, Sean Cram. The Vice.
Andrew Pearson.
Pearson, wow. I wrote that down knowing, no one's going to be able to read that says Pearson, but I'll know it says Pearson. And now I'm looking at it, and it looks like I wrote Pepper or something. But yes, Andrew Pearson. And the skip throwing now, who I've lost on the camera now. Where are they? There they are. This is Mark Audi, or Audi, A-U-D-Y.
Just
Makes a nice
going in with
takeout,
that.
just dodging the jam. And the next stone then will be the hammer of the end for the red team. The red team out of the Philadelphia Curling Club. Lead Andy Benedict, second Matt Mayock, vice Adam Green, and the skip about to throw the hammer here, Ryan Green.
Are they brothers? Are they married?
I don't know.
I don't know anything about these guys other than that they are, in fact, from Philadelphia.
Let's say that they're married.
Okay.
Sure.
And if they're brothers, that'll be really weird.
Yeah. Just make it awkward.
I mean, it's just like those ice dancing pairs that are brother and sister, and that's not
Right.
creepy at all.
Yeah, sometimes you just feel a little uncomfortable, but you can't stop watching. That's how it goes.
But here he is about to, I believe he's in the process of just trying to draw in there to get his
Yeah.
one.
Sweepers are not leaving this one to glide at all. They're trying pretty hard.
Would you call this hurrying hard?
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
Yes,
I
they
would.
are hurrying hard because
Oh.
they don't want to leave this short. They might have overswept it.
They
but-
might have hurried too hard.
Oh.
No,
Oh,
that
no,
looks
that looks
pretty
to
good.
settle in just
What a nice
fine.
Very
shot.
nice.
Let's cut to the overhead. Look at that, almost touching the button, and that
So
is going to
close
be
to the
1
button.
point for the red team. So there it is, 1 red as our featured game here. It turns over into the second end as they also then move the hammer on the scoreboard erroneously because you don't do that, but
Right.
hey, whatever.
Because that should be obvious based on who scored last. Do we have any commentary on the website?
Actually, we do have a chat message that just came in that just says nice draw. We all agree that was in fact a nice draw. And
Yeah.
prior to that, we just had some random chat about
Dodging rocks
throwing
and
up
dodging
guards
balls.
and dodging rock, and about our favorite commentator, Vic Router.
Oh, yeah. You know, when I was at a Bonspiel here in the fall, somebody said that Vic Router had died, and it was not true.
You heard it here first, folks. Vic Router is still alive.
Thank God.
He's also probably calling the Briar
Yeah,
right
so the
now.
Briar is on TV above my head. So if you ever wanted to see just the opposites of curling, the 5 and under in front of me and the Briar above my head.
Just to be clear, by opposites he means that the curling here is far better because, and I've used this joke already tonight, so I apologize to those of
Use
you
it
listening again.
Use it
But after
again.
Canada's Olympic performance, clearly the best curling in the world on the men's side is American.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is true,
Clearly.
but I will say that Team Schuster, all of which on that team have been in fact curling more than 5 years, and none of which would be eligible to play in this
What?
tournament.
Just because Schuster's been to 4 Olympics doesn't mean he's been curling more than 5 years.
Yeah, he actually takes all the
Yeah.
other Olympic years off, so technically this was only his 4th year of curling. Who
Yeah.
knew?
Still Dykes eligible. John Schuster, please come down.
Actually, so Team Schuster, I'm told, is in Annapolis for the
I believe-
outdoor hockey game at the Navy Stadium. So
I believe they're doing that
theoretically-
tomorrow.
Well, but he's probably in town. He could drop by
Yeah,
tonight.
so
Are they snubbing us?
so we're thinking that they're probably going to come, and by probably I mean probably not, but like, you know, they should come.
They
They
should come.
absolutely should.
If we just say their names a lot, they'll just show up, right? It's like Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary.
Yeah.
John
they can,
Schuster,
they can
John
feel
Schuster.
it in their bones.
He's in the mirror behind you right now.
Oh my God. Weird.
Well, we did have a Matt Hamilton at the club.
Wait, can I say Oscar Erickson, Oscar Erickson, Oscar Erickson? Will that work? Does that work?
Look behind you.
I mean, if he just shows up in the mirror behind me. Sorry, there's a curling game happening. Sorry, what? Hi.
Hi.
That is true, though. There wasn't Matt Hamilton at the club here. If you weren't aware of that Cheetos commercial starring USA Curling, that actually was filmed here, not in our ice shed, but in the shed next door in the hockey rink. I believe I'm allowed to talk about that. The commercial's airing and on TV and stuff now. So
I've seen it a couple of times.
And actually, I wasn't even supposed to know most of those things, so I'm not under any NDA, so I can blab all I want. It's like when someone leaks you classified information, you can post it because it's not you. Like you're not under any obligation to protect it.
Actually, talking about Matt Hamilton, I was actually talking about Ben Keane, who's sitting directly behind us at this moment.
Oh,
because he looks exactly like Matt Hamilton right now.
With the mustache, it's true. It
the mustache, the red hat, and even like the green towel in the back pocket.
Kind of like a Bonspiel, kind of like a Comic-Con right now.
Yeah, it is a little bit like a Curlicon.
Curlicon,
yeah.
Yep.
that is the nerdiest sentence I've ever heard.
What do you expect?
And to show you the level of coverage that we're giving you here, just like NBC, we're now going to go ahead and just start talking about this end now that we're 4 rocks in because
It's true. It's true.
So Philadelphia just threw a, I believe it's a center line guard. It might be biting. I'm
It
not
might
sure.
be touching. Hold on. I can fix this.
I don't think it is.
It is not on.
And now Triangle is trying to take it out.
Chad asking for an update on C. I'm going to go ahead and post that right now, but I see the first end score was 2 for Red, the Kurt Medland team of Kurt Medland, Andy Gross, Tycho Spadaro, and Nick Saylor over the yellow team, the other Potomac team of Greg Jablonski, Tim Loudon, Dave Schlanger, and Eric Boehm.
You're a member of the same club as they are, so you should probably know those names.
I recognize the names, but I don't curl with those people, so I don't know how to say them. I could just know them from name tags.
I'm just going to shade you. Is that okay?
I guess that's just what you're going to do anyway.
It just happens.
Okay, so Philadelphia just took out the triangle rock that was biting on the top 12.
To be clear to our viewers who are not as familiar as curling with as some of us might be, the rock is still round. The club is from Triangle, North Carolina.
I don't think anyone had that question.
I will say as a
What?
non-curler, I never had that question.
This one is not light.
Yeah, this is looking to be a bit heavy.
Just a little courtesy sweep from the opposing skip there.
Yeah, just
to say, oh, that only went out because I swept it. Not because you were super heavy. We've also got an update on sheet A. The first end score was hung over there. That's going to be 1 for the yellow team, the team out of the Potomac Curling Club, calling themselves the Suicide Squad, which I'm surprised I haven't botched saying that yet because it's harder than it looks.
That is one of the better names I've heard. The draw weight looks pretty good here on this rock. Not going to get buried, but right on the tee line.
Yeah, not the line they were looking for, but the weight is spectacular there, just touching the side of the button.
This does leave the hit and roll under cover, which is what they're calling here. Looks like they're trying to push it into the curl here, trying to get a little more curl out of it.
They're going to get across the face.
Actually, a little too much.
They
swept a little too much.
yes. So for those of you who may not know, if you're sweeping away from the direction that the curl is going, you can get it to curl a little bit more.
Thank you, Laura. Just so you know, Laura's using body language right now to show me how to sweep. You guys can't see that, but
Yeah, to maybe simplify that just in case if you're maybe not a curler or don't quite
Or
get
don't
it.
see my body
Yeah, I
language.
can't
Yeah.
watch Laura's body language right
So
now.
you could,
First
because
of
I
all-
could turn on the webcam and we could all just watch Laura make her sweeping gestures, but I'm not going to
Yeah.
do that.
None
I
of the
will
rocks
say
are triangles.
In
Just
general,
put that up.
sweeping is usually described as making the rocks go straighter and farther. A couple years ago, some teams discovered if you're sweeping with the right technique, you can sort of
And the
push
right-
the rock as
and the
well
right
as
broom.
Yeah. So yeah. Also, if you remember all that weird media coverage around curling brooms like a year or two
Broomgate?
ago, Broomgate.
Broomgate.
I will tell you that here, because we're just a private curling club, not in national or world competition, no one here is required to use World Curling Federation compliant brooms. I do see that a few people are. Good for them. But the rest of us are going to cheat as much as we can while we still can.
It's not cheating if it's not a rule.
That's true, too.
It's
Yeah.
not cheating if you don't get caught.
It's not cheating if it's actually still legal.
It's
Right.
cheating. It's cheating in the same way that Rachel Homan kicked that Denmark rock out of the.
Ooh.
Which is to say, not cheating, but everyone's like, "Ooh, Rachel Homan, no, ma'am." Which is how everyone who curls talks.
I can
Maybe
attest
just
to
everyone
that.
you curl with, actually. But
It's infectious, Mike. It's gonna happen to you too.
I will say that
When
I
you
curled
least
up in.
expect.
I played a Bonspiel in Oakville, Ontario, and after a day and a half of that, I did suddenly have an Ontario accent.
Oh.
Right? Nope.
I see Courtney is telling you it's too soon. Too soon for your joke.
Oh, sorry. It's 10. It's nearly 11 o'clock, Courtney Shaw. I can tell that joke.
No, I think she just means too soon, like too soon after the national tragedy that is the Canadians not meddling in curling.
It's never too soon to talk about Canadians not meddling in curling.
Okay, so Philadelphia is drawing behind their guard.
Drawing around the outside, too, which is a little
yeah.
unexpected line, but
Well, especially on this sheet, and they wouldn't necessarily have any reason to know this, but that's a straighter line traditionally on this sheet. It's hard to get a really good berry on that side.
maybe they were also just kind of testing the line because they were really heavy the first time coming up the inside. So maybe they're just trying to pick the slower side, maybe. I'm not sure exactly. They did get it in there, though. It's in the house. It's probably about a half behind the guard, and
Maybe a quarter.
making
It's
a
hard to
takeout
tell.
on the outside half definitely not as easy as the inside half. But as you point out, possibly a straighter line, so might make the shot for you a bit here if you could just get it outside the guard and not wide of the target stone. I believe they're on the guard.
It sure looks like it.
And just not heavy enough because they're not even going to peel the guard. They're going to put it in the house.
It does open up the house.
It does open up the house, and yellow has the hammer, so those red stones not necessarily in a terrible position for yellow.
I mean, they're not likely to get two here.
That is true, but they're the single is open. Probably also not likely to blank.
I mean, you could do a weird cross house thing, or is that yellow rock on the edge still on?
I think
Well,
it's
if you-
out.
I-
Do that, then you could
Well,
make
it's
the weird
out.
cross house
From
double and
here,
maybe get
it looks
two.
like it's out, and I'm like almost in line with it. So
Overhead looks out.
It does look out, and that double's really flat. You'd
Oh,
have to
it's
throw.
super flat and super long. It is there only in the physical like simulation computer sense.
Yeah.
Or I guess if this was the Olympics
Or-
and we had really keen ice and really nice stones.
If you could throw like a 4-second rock. Courtney says she needs a sarcasm font, but I'm just going to assume from now on that she is saying everything in sarcasm.
yeah,
Fair.
I'm pretty sure that's true.
It's a fair assumption.
So we've got Jason in the chat, who I want to scroll back just a little bit, who said he complimented me. He
mother-in-law?
complimented me here basically somewhere, and I want to find it. Oh no, it was he said good camera work following the shot. So thank you very much. I'm the one pushing the buttons to do
Good
that.
job.
And
Yay.
he also wants to compliment the rest of us because we're doing a better job than the CBC commentary crew.
Well, that's because any of
Thank
us
you,
have ever
Jason.
seen a curling game before.
Yeah.
Well,
It's all new.
yeah.
Thanks, Jason's
Well-
wife.
If we do a good job tonight, I'm pretty sure we'll get picked up by CBC. So
I mean, we all sang the Canadian national anthem not just half an hour ago, so.
yes.
Truth.
Almost Canadian. Let's get some Tim Hortons.
Canada.
Canada.
Sounds good. I actually work for a Canadian corporation, so I'm like most of the way there at this point.
No. Just hop across if you need to.
Courtney, no one has been drinking as much as Nick. That's just not possible.
Whoops, I cut too early there, but here we go.
Well, there goes your daytime Emmy, Mike.
It's clearly nighttime, so.
That looks like it is not going to end up where they'd like it.
Yeah, it looks
I mean,
a
unless
tad heavy.
maybe where they'd like it was just putting it away for the next end. I mean,
That's true. We don't know.
I don't
Nice
actually have the
shot.
house mics on enough to actually hear these calls. Let me find that
Yeah, how do you
button.
turn it
Oh,
up a bit?
they are actually all just muted. Let me go ahead and
Only
just
Yellow is wearing their house mic tonight.
No, I mean, we actually have mics just in the shed. I'm going to unmute them,
okay.
turn them up.
Well, the Yellow team actually has a mic on them.
So is this kind of like spying on them if they don't know their mic?
No, they know
there's,
their mic.
There's,
Okay.
there's
They
signs
have
on
been
the
told.
doors that say audio and video recording in progress. Please, I guess, be on your best behavior, etc.
We're not going to examine whether or not that's legally binding or not. That's just not relevant for right now.
Well, I mean, it doesn't really have to be. It's true. Like, we do, in fact, have cameras and microphones, so, don't say or do anything that you wouldn't want the world to know about.
Is there an expectation of privacy at a curling Bonspiel? Probably not.
No. So
Oh,
God, I
now
hope
Triangle is throwing last shot of the end. And they're hoping to stop in time to make
Is it heavy?
Oh, and
That
it looks
is
just
enough
heavy.
to outcount
Just
one
yeah.
a bit.
Redstone,
deep,
but
yeah.
not enough to outcount the other. So that's going to be another one for Red.
Making the game tied at 2-0.
Yes, tied at 2-0.
That is what a tie is.
Still waiting on those second ends from the other sheets. Both A and C still playing their second end, and actually still got a few rocks to go. So our featured game here, a very fast-moving game compared to the other two as well.
It's all the nerves. They know they're on prime time right now,
That's
so
right. That's right.
they're keeping it up.
Primetime live stream curling under 5.
Well, they want to make sure that people don't tune away from them and into the Briar, because
Yeah.
who cares about that?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you're here in the United States, you probably can't. So this might be the only way you can actually watch curling today. And that rock, I don't even have to cut the last camera shot because they don't even get that one to the hog line. Probably not where they wanted that guard.
You mean not in play? No, probably not.
Probably not.
They do have a lead. Maybe that was just better than through.
I feel like up 2-0 in the third end is a bit easy or a bit early to be throwing away rocks, but
I mean, generally, it's probably not the right time to start doing it, but
maybe with the new 5-rock rule, they're just preparing for an alternate strategy.
5-rock rule.
The
Oh,
5-rock
man.
free guard zone.
I can't wait.
Right?
I don't know
Really?
what's going to happen.
I can't tell if you're being sarcastic or not.
I'm being serious.
Okay.
It's going to be exciting.
People
The
gonna
second is going to have to throw draws,
So is this-
etc.
Is this like Broomgate?
etc.
Do you have as many feelings as Broomgate?
no. So it's not so much like Broomgate as it would be like if and when the NFL finally gets around to making a reasonable catch rule.
Oh.
What? A reason? No. There's no such thing.
Or maybe like when the NHL moved the blue lines out or something. I'm not sure. I can't think of a good
Or
sports
narrow the
analogy.
crease, maybe?
Oh, yeah, could be. Or legalize the two-line pass, maybe.
Oh.
Yeah.
So Red just takes that guard, the yellow guard that's on the center line, and sits on the other side of center line.
Heather says, what's the NFL? It's that thing we do in America where we all tune into TV on Sunday afternoons and watch big dudes run into each other for hours and hours and hours, and then they all get really hurt by that.
It's all about concussions. It's the concussion championship.
I got a concussion a couple years ago. It was really bad.
Do you remember it?
Vaguely.
Yes, because I
Because
couldn't.
she just told
I
us
couldn't-
about it?
Yeah.
I couldn't
Laura
even
decided to make-
drive without feeling sick. It
Laura
was like
decided
horrible.
to make it
Ooh.
real right now.
Yeah.
Also, it was from the refrigerator. She got a concussion from the fridge.
Yeah.
That happened.
P.S. guys, putting food in your refrigerator
don't
is
mean-
really dangerous.
You don't mean Walter Payton. You mean actually like the
The literal.
The kitchen
little-
appliance.
Like
Yes.
literally,
refrigerator.
I was doing like a squat into the top of the refrigerator.
Well, that's what you get for exercising.
Yeah.
No, I was putting away groceries.
And buying vegetables. If she hadn't bought vegetables, this never would have happened.
Yeah.
Walter Payton was not. No, it was William Perry.
Perry was the refrigerator.
Yeah.
Yes, I was going to get to that eventually, but
I figured it out eventually, guys. Don't stop. You can stop emailing me now.
Your Twitter's blowing up.
Don't at me.
Oh, is there a comment that says, what are sports? That's a great comment.
updates from other sheets. We've got the second end finished over on sheet C, and it's one more point for Kurt
That's a big
Medlin's
shot.
team, the Potomac team, as opposed to the other Potomac team. So in the Potomac death match, Potomac is winning 3-0.
So on that last shot, Red was trying to draw behind their guard, and they're about half exposed, so Yellow will be trying to pick it out and roll behind cover.
You can hear them calling for the sweep on the ambient mics there. Maybe got it by.
Not
no.
by the guard. And didn't hit it thick enough to really peel it, although it isn't in the house, so that's fine. That's basically peeled.
Yeah.
That's as peeled as you're gonna get.
And for those of you who may not know, peel means get it out of play.
Oh.
Yeah.
She's saying
you.
this as she looks at Betsy.
Yeah, really pointedly.
For Betsy who doesn't know.
It's probably you know if you're watching at 11 p.m. on a Friday.
Right now, I think just looking to put a stone in the house. This one kind of falling out a little bit wide, maybe. I can't actually tell what line they were going for. But
Yeah,
it
I'm at a
looks-
bad angle
it
too,
looks
but
pretty far off the center line here.
I don't think this is
Yeah.
gonna get back to
Yeah.
center.
It's not coming over.
Are they trying to take out the yellows?
No. I think they were
Okay.
trying to throw a guard.
That seems
a
more
center
likely
line
trying-
guard,
yeah.
but it was a bit wide.
Okay.
Weight was pretty good.
Yeah, it was good guard.
Oh,
weight.
yeah, that was really good guard weight.
But as we discussed earlier, that's what a skip says when you totally miss the line.
I get that a lot.
So I did vaguely hear on the ambient mics here the call for normal. If you're not aware, that means a sort of normal weight takeout. And that's what we're going to get. We're going to take that red out. We're going to roll. We're going to roll too far.
Just a bit too far. That was really close to a nice roll,
Yeah.
but
Just a bit outside.
very Major League, very Cleveland Indians. I approve. That's
I
another
figured that's what you were
sports
going for when you said just too much roll. And I was like, oh, I figured I would just finish that for you.
Another sports reference.
That's
Sports
What are we
game.
talking about right now?
Charlie Sheen movies.
Well, I don't know
Hashtag
about that.
winning.
Ugh. Hashtag sick of winning.
Thank you.
So Red is trying to draw behind the two yellow guards.
We should definitely eat these chips that we were just given on the microphone.
Doritos just appeared in front
Just-
of me.
Just crunch as loudly as possible.
I'm a
Doritos that-
lady,
These
so-
must be like the bottom of the bag, or the bag got sat on or
Oh,
something.
Lady
Those
Doritos?
are-
Yeah, Lady Doritos.
I have longed
That's
for
my
Lady Doritos.
favorite Wild West character, Lady Doritos.
As a woman, I'm scared of making crunchy noises when I eat chips, so thankfully Doritos is going to fix that for me.
I'm one of those people that hates it when people make chewing noises around me. So
Oh, so that's
we
You
should definitely
also were in
chew
the
in each
market
other's
for,
ears.
yeah. Wow.
So now yellow is going for that same shot. Red ended up a bit deep and didn't quite curl under the guards. So yellow is trying to beat them to it.
This one's curling better, but doesn't look like it's got the legs.
Not at all. So
I
at the
mean-
moment, we've got just one redstone alone in the back of the house.
That's unfortunate, actually, because it looks like it's now a little bit more buried than it was.
Yeah.
Next yellow on the way. I want to say it looks like a draw, but I think it might be too much for a draw, but they do have some backing.
But unfortunately, it's their own backing.
It is their own backing, but I don't know that it's not necessarily takeout weight. I think it might be just a little tap. If they could get it to be offset, it might rub and stay. This is going to hit nose.
No, that's a pretty
look
nice,
at that. That's
just a
actually
hair.
Oh, it just kind of right up and died right there on the button.
Yeah,
Look
just
at that.
behind T.
You probably want that on the other side of the tee line, right? You want that just 1 foot shorter than that, but that's still a good shot.
Yellow coming in with a draw here. This one going to be a little wide of their target, I think.
Great weight, but yeah, just not on the right line.
So red is still first shot, just behind the button. Well, biting the back of the button.
So close to the button.
They're
All about the button.
Yeah.
all about the buttonings. They're looking at throwing the freeze on the inside corner of this rock, which is aggressive and a great call, I think. Even if you're short, you end up with a guard, but if you get on the inside corner of that rock, it's really tough for yellow to do anything.
Unless you tap it back and then they can get them both out.
Oh, I got momentarily lost trying to look for score updates on other sheets to figure out where we are. And it turns out we aren't anywhere. They haven't actually made a shot yet. There's a shot called now.
We aren't anywhere. How metaphysical can you be?
Well, what I was looking for was this game on sheet A that's clearly playing their third end but does not have their second end score hung. But now they do. It's 1 red in the second. So the game on sheet A, the other A event game we've got going on, is 1-1. Dave Schmel of Bucks County versus the Suicide Squad from Potomac.
I don't know.
You handled that well.
I don't know this Bucks County team, but I am really impressed by this Suicide Squad team. This is not necessarily the A event team I would have chosen. Ex-ante.
You know, I was telling people that, you know, it is March, and there's another really famous tournament that happens in March.
What?
What is it?
I don't know that I'm actually allowed to say anything about it because of trademarks and things.
Is there a volleyball tournament?
Is it basketball, March Madness?
That's what I was going for, yes. So I was saying that, you know, we have this big bracket on the wall, and I wanted to say, oh, we should have all the teams, like, fill out the bracket. And like Nick, if I would have filled out the bracket, I don't know that I necessarily would have picked the Suicide Squad to be here in the A event quarterfinals or things. But there they are. They're playing pretty well.
More of the power to them. They are clearly playing well.
And I know I don't really know much about Dave Schmel's team. I know Dave Schmel a little bit. I've met him at Bucks County. I don't know that I've ever played with or against him, but I've seen him here at some of the other 5 and unders. Really great guy. Bucks County, really great club. Really, just a club as a whole, really likes the whole social aspect of Bonspiels.
I mean, that's why you go to Bonspiels, right? Like, the curling is fine, but
I don't know about that.
Some of us have been to, like, a nationals event more than I have. I don't know.
I don't know. Laura doesn't really enjoy talking to people.
I'm not big on socializing.
So, Queen Asperger's.
Wow.
Wow, sorry.
No, I mean, I don't think it was necessarily over the line, but it was more than I was expecting to hear today.
We're right up on that.
It was hurrying hard to the line. But
that's good.
Check.
That's good. She's learning some words. You're teaching her well.
One day I'll know my curling jargon.
I think at this point we need to make this entire thing about quotes from the room.
Oh. You're tearing me apart.
That's the only one I know.
What's that about? So I got the test today. I have
definitely have breast cancer.
Definitely have breast cancer. Just so you all know.
Never speak of this again.
It's not relevant. No one cares.
So anyway, here we see the, looks like the shot call is to try to take that Yellowstone out. It is half to a third buried. It's poking out a little bit. They can definitely see it. And they're definitely going to try to hit it.
Can they definitely see it? Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
they can see it.
I mean, they would see it a lot better if they had a left-hander throwing the stone, but that's just me.
Well, and they're not overthrowing this rock for sure.
No, this might not have the weight. I don't think it has the weight.
I think they're around the guard, but Well, from my angle, they're around the guard, but you could not have thrown that with any less weight.
They are, in fact, around the guard.
That is a nice shot.
That's what I called the first time, y'all.
That's a good one.
That's a great shot. That is a great shot.
There are some cowbells.
Red line, too.
There were cowbells on that shot.
That is beautiful. So the call was not to take out the yellow, or if it was, they missed it very beautifully. And now yellow's going to have to do something about that.
This is their last rock, and they're looking at a tough shot for just one. There's no way for them to get two here.
No, it's probably going to have to be some kind of run back. There are two stones in good position to try to raise into that pocket, but anytime you're trying to make a run back, your margin for error is near zero.
I lied. There is a way for them to get two here, but it's really finicky.
Yeah.
You got to raise that one that he's standing over right now back and hit the one on the left first and run it over sideways into the red one on the top and push it out the front.
Yeah, if you go back to front, you can get the top one without jamming on the back yellow. Yeah.
You can get two here, but that is a really tough shot.
And I think they might be calling that shot. This is an Olympic level shot, guys. If they make this. Yeah,
actually, don't drum roll.
This might actually be a better shot than any of the ones I saw during the Olympics.
No, actually, you're right.
I didn't watch a lot of Olympic curling.
I watched pretty much all of it, and I think you're right, actually.
I mean, Laura watched a lot in Brainerd.
That I did.
The weight is the right kind of weight here. I don't think he's got the line now. Oh, no, they're not calling what we thought they were calling.
Aren't they? They're all over it. Oh, no.
Oh,
is he going to get it the hard way? No.
It was exciting, though. Lots of rocks moved.
It was quite exciting. Good try, guys. That will be a steal of 2 for red.
That is how you steal rocks, is you put your final rock in just the perfect position.
Yes.
And it's just that easy. Just put your rock in the perfect place every time.
That's how you win.
Every single time.
It is, in that sense, it's really an easy game.
I mean, if you
put your rocks in the center and make it so the other team can't get to them, you're going to get points.
I hear if you score more points than the other team, you're almost guaranteed to win.
And that was curling commentary brought to you
that
by
was
John
the
Madden.
same strategy that I had in my basketball games.
Getting more points than the other team?
Getting more points than the other team.
How did you come up with that?
I don't know.
Why aren't you a coach at the NBA right now?
WNBA, please.
WNBA.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, that's correct.
They can't dunk, but they have good fundamentals.
That's for the fan to decide.
Heather asks, is yellow sitting one on C? I don't actually have a view of the house on C. They certainly don't appear to be now. I look over at a monitor.
Yellow is sitting 0.
It looks like red might be sitting 5.
Yes, I think that's right.
So red places a nice center line guard.
That's actually a beautiful guard.
Yes.
Really nice guard.
Up by 4, you may not necessarily want to be playing that guard, but it is a beautiful guard.
I mean, still the 4th end. Play it like you'd play a normal end. Why not?
I play my normal ends by putting that in the 4-foot, but I'm that guy. I think this might have been attempted the come around, in which case the weight was wonderful.
I think they were trying to do a corner guard, and it just didn't curl as much as they expected.
Curling on that side of the sheet, I can see that.
Yeah.
If it was, then again the weight was great because that would have curled, it would have slowed down a little bit more. But this puts the triangle team in a tough spot just to start the end.
Yeah, it really does.
Yeah, if you're trying to score a lot of points, you're generally not looking for a center line guard, although anything you can hide behind will help. But when you put the other team behind your guard, you're already sort of setting them ahead of point.
Center line guard you don't mind so much, but a center line guard with the other team's rock right behind it, that's problematic.
Yeah, I mean, you can score in an end by just drawing up a center line guard and then drawing around it. That red stone just not making it over the hog line.
Not quite enough.
So it's out of play?
Yellow.
Yes,
looks like they're calling
out of play.
They call that hogging the rock.
Hogging the rock, guys.
Hogging the rock.
The more you know.
Yellow looks to be calling the run back here.
You know what else is a hog? Charles the pig. If you guys don't know about Charles the Pig, it's this inspirational pig from Gatlinburg, Tennessee. Look it up on the internet.
And the run back there is going to
Yeah.
flash.
It just goes a little bit past.
Maybe it was
Too
a
bad.
call for a run back. Maybe it was a call for the ever-popular peel of shame.
Peel of shame.
Can you explain the peel of shame to me?
So in general, the idea of you don't really want to put a guard right there, especially when you're guarding an opposing stone. So sometimes
Fair.
you will then be called for your second stone to take out your first stone. And it's generally deemed to be rather shameful when that happens.
Yeah, peel
Because
of
the
shame.
reason you're throwing it is that you've messed up your first
I
shot.
see. I see.
But as Heather points out, yes, I can't say that well as you guys can, so please, one of you do that for me.
Yes! Yellow scored on C.
Thank you for that.
Sorry. I see that many A's in the word yes, and it just comes out.
Yeah.
I just threw that over. I knew that you would be.
You knew it was in good hands.
You just have more experience with that than I do.
I mean, not for lack of trying.
Oh, Heather's. Can you do that
Oh,
one?
and now she's got even more A's.
Yes! See, the more capital it gets. Now bold it, Heather. Bold it.
There needs to be at least one exclamation point.
Maybe a 1 interspersed with some exclamation points.
Yeah,
Yes.
maybe some emoji.
See, now you're,
in the next one,
now
I
you're
don't
gilding
know.
the lily. Now it's just going to be like, yeah.
But
That-
here's the run back.
Oh,
No, that's just
very-
going to be a peel, but
Very close.
exposing the shot stone for another turn. So red now has to put that guard back, clinging to the steel for their dear life, I guess, maybe. That's probably a little bit overdramatic.
I think
Yeah, there's still a number of
they're
guards over there.
still leading this tie game 4-0. This is on
Looks
that
heavy
line
for
where
guard.
it might curl, but it's a guard. Definitely guard weight.
Oh, yeah, that is nice guard weight.
That's a very nice guard. That's a tricky line too on this sheet in particular.
Oh, a little
Very
rob
nice.
off the corner, and that stone is guarded.
I see Heather says it won't let her post in bold, which seems right for YouTube and streaming. But we appreciate your effort.
Did you just throw it through?
And, another attempt at the run back. Not quite there. And the shooter doesn't roll away.
So it leaves
Gasps in the warm room. Oh, okay.
I've never seen that happen.
a
I thought
center
they was
line
going to
guard
Kevin
for
Martin, but
red.
apparently
Yeah.
not.
Would they need to call another peel of shame?
Well, they just
my
had their
rocks don't
shot,
leave
so
the
now red
ice.
will be throwing.
Yeah, but I mean, when the yellow gets up again, will they have a peel of shame?
Probably not, just because they're kind of running out of stones. They're going to have to
Okay.
try to either come around that or run it back.
Oh, okay.
I believe you, Heather. I thank you for your efforts in trying to post that in bold. Working hard on this rock here.
Hurry hard.
They
Well
are,
done,
in fact,
Betsy.
hurrying
Yes.
hard.
And then they woed, This actually is not going to help them.
No, that
So now
might.
they're sitting 2?
They are
They
sitting
are
two. That's
sitting two.
correct.
Those did level out a little bit.
I think you can clip if you can hit all of that, you can see you blank the end.
There definitely is a.
Sorry. There are more rocks than 0
There are
left.
quite a lot of rocks left. So
Sorry,
they are actually going after that center line guard again.
Which is
like
probably
you
the better
asked,
choice.
Betsy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if you can raise the yellow into those two reds, you're going to have a yellow in the house, probably be guarded. You'll be in pretty good shape. And
Oh, it's
not
heavy.
Oh.
gonna work.
Just a tiny
Just
bit
carrying that
overswept.
by.
Yeah. They just came up on that a little bit earlier. Maybe they could have got it to curl a little more. But that was a really nice shot. Good try.
Unfortunately, that does leave the guard right in front of the other the two-shot Red Rocks.
And that is the drawback to playing a run back as opposed to a peel, is if you hit the run back kind of close, you just stay right where the guard was, and you haven't made the run back and you haven't cleared the guard. You've effectively not even thrown a rock. I mean, you have because you're now one further rock down, but you haven't accomplished anything with a rock. And you only get 8. You got to accomplish something with all of them.
Michael Ray has posted this bitch with a lot of exclamation marks within the word bitch, so I feel like that's appropriate.
Michael, you've done good work here. Thank you, sir.
Red now ticking the yellow corner guard, rolling over to guard more of the stones in the house.
Adding more cover here. Yellow's got run backs and they've got tap backs, and they don't have a whole lot else.
Yeah, they've got the center line run back. They've got sort of the angle raise on the left side. If they wanted to try to raise that behind the Reds, I say steal one. They have the hammer, so they're supposed to score, but they'd essentially be stealing it from Red.
But they're trying
because Red clearly already winning the end here at this point.
But they're trying to run this Yellow Rock back, and I think that they're just gonna.
They're gonna go around the yellow.
Nice.
Flip that one like
nice
you talked
shot.
about. Hit all they can see. Shooter rolls out.
Still
The two
leaves
Reds
Red sitting
don't.
too, but it's much easier to get in scoring position.
Yeah, the
versus
scoring
those rocks.
the scoring zone now is the entire 4-foot ring as opposed to just the button. So
It's
they've added a lot of real estate for
It's the
themselves.
entire 4-foot ring, and they can get to the 4-foot ring.
They can. Well, there is a lane. Where are we here? I keep looking away and then losing track of where we are. We're still calling
I'm
this
being
out.
shaded on the roll on the. That's fine. I'm insufficiently gay for some people watching this game. That's fine. That's fine. I don't need their approval.
Insufficiently gay.
If you can believe such a thing.
Was it like Sleepaway Camp gay?
Oh my God, such a good movie.
I was really inspired by that movie, though.
I mean, you are Angela.
Oh no.
All right, so the shot call here looks to be probably a draw here, maybe to top 12, top 8, just to sit more points, keep the draw paths covered. From this angle, looks to be pretty narrow, but stone's going out.
Yeah, it looks pretty heavy. You can be narrow, and on this line you can be narrow. Oh no, it's just checked up. What do I know?
They're by
Ooh.
the yellow.
That's a great shot. That's a great shot.
Yeah, someone says that house on A. I can't see it from here because I'm sitting on C, essentially. But from my angle here in the warm room, I see what looks to be just a lot of yellow stones.
I think red is shot, actually.
I think red is shot, but I believe yellow is 2nd through 5th.
2nd through 6th.
6th. Oh, but red's got some cover. I don't know what's going on over there. I'm going to wait for them to hang a score because that's their job.
And I do want to say, Michael, I agree. I wish you could post in GIFs right now. That would elevate this quite a bit.
Someone was
As Allison points out, you can do emoji. There is YouTube emoji.
Not the same as a GIF, though.
Not at all.
I can't wait for the GIF movie.
It's coming.
I mean, really, any movie is a GIF movie.
Fair enough.
Fair.
Ooh, did I just blow your mind there?
A little.
This does not look like it's going to settle in a useful place for yellow. That's a tough line to draw on.
Yeah, it really is. Just a bit heavy. So red has an opportunity to kind of block that draw path.
Which would leave triangle here with a angle tap.
Yeah. Very difficult shot.
Yeah.
Is it Olympic level?
I think that could be.
Yeah.
No?
That's a tricky
Anything's
shot.
Olympic level if you believe in it.
Okay.
I mean, I've thrown Olympic level shots just because what I need right now is a guard, and I've thrown a guard.
Yeah.
I mean, you need guards at the Olympic level as well. I could probably throw an Olympic level center line guard.
I feel like I've done that a couple of times. Usually not
Sometimes on purpose. So
yeah.
we went opposite directions with that.
That's not going to cover much of anything.
No, they might get it to bite the circle here.
No.
I once read a
No.
book called The Circle. It was terrible. Never read it.
Okay, I will avoid that book.
Is that the one that they made into that movie about
Yes.
the company that's kind of like Facebook, but
Yes.
even more creepy?
Yes.
Yeah, I never
Was-
saw the movie either, but I heard it
Yes.
was not good.
Was Ellen Page in that?
Maybe?
Ellen Page.
Yeah, I'm just asking the questions
Speak-
for the gays.
Speaking
among
of
us.
lesbians,
Yeah.
so all of you at home, and I know you're tuning in for my literary recommendations. Never read The Circle. It's a bad book. Never watch The Circle. It's a bad movie.
But do watch The Room. It's a great film.
The Broom?
The Room.
The Room, yes. Also, you should, if you're going to watch The Broom, you should hit the broom.
And so, unfortunately for red, they didn't curl quite far enough to block the draw path, so yellow has a shot here to draw into the 4-foot.
But it's still a delicate draw.
Yeah, it's definitely difficult. It's not easy.
It's not easy, and it's to get 1 and still be down 3.
Against 3, yeah.
This is not
This
by
looks
the
like it
guard.
may be over curling.
Yeah, I think that the weight is actually pretty nice. They're just not on the right
Oh.
line for it.
And Ed Simia points out, breaking news, Ellen Page was not in the circle, but Emma Watson and Tom Hanks were.
Thank you.
Emma Watson,
Thank you, Ed.
that's who it was. Thank you, Ed.
So
Emma Watson and Ellen Page are basically the same person. I will
red
contend
scores
that.
3 in that.
Regardless who was in it, it was terrible and no one should ever see it.
So red scores 3 here in the 4th end, and we got an update over on sheet A, that cluster of an end with all the rocks in play or whatever was going on over there. It was 2 for the red team. So Dave Schmel leads 3-1 over the Suicide Squad, and leads 2-1, but trails the other games by about an end right now.
In fact, yes, sheet A is beginning end 4 and sheet B is beginning end 5.
And sheet C, and you're about basically finishing end 4. They're on Skip's rocks.
I might be the only person who gets Suicide Blonde by NXS stuck in my head when I hear Suicide Squad, but
Maybe.
now I hope it's all in your heads.
It certainly is now. It wasn't before, but that's a good song.
Speaking of autoerotic asphyxia,
Okay.
All right, another place I wasn't really prepared for, but here we are.
that's how Michael Hutchins died.
I know, and it's as is David Carradine.
David Carradine died that way?
Maybe. Actually, I think he may have just hanged himself, but
Oh, well, I hope that wasn't, like, slander. Actually, I do hope it was slander.
So yellow has to score a lot of points in this end.
So the 8-ender will put them right back in it.
Yes.
Aidener would actually put them in the lead, so that's the plan here, I think. If you want to get an 8-ender, you got to put them all in the house. And this one might just get there. No, but it's a nice corner guard, which is another thing you want to do if you want to get a lot of
They
points.
can use it later.
Yes.
I mean, they could also maybe just play for like a 3 or a 4. That would also be a pretty good strategy here.
That would be
Frankly,
good.
2 would be a good start.
You hear the red skip calling for sweep because the call was to go around the center line guard.
I see. Sports, go sports.
It's going to be a little light. He's going to tap that first guard back up. So red sitting in a good spot with the 2 centerline guards. Not necessarily the spot they need to be in, but it's certainly a good spot to play defense.
Yeah, playing aggressively with their lead.
Yes, leads.
With 2 center line guards, they're set up to potentially steal another end.
So setting up the guards will make it hard to get things in the house? Is that the strategy?
It makes it hard to get things to the center of the
Okay.
house.
Yeah.
So generally, when you don't have the hammer, you want your guards in the middle. When you do have the hammer, you want your guards to the side. So
Okay.
yellow puts up the corner guard. Generally, when you have a lead, you don't want guards up, and when you, especially a big lead, and when you are behind, you need guards. So you can hide rocks in the house and get points. I will say, though, from personal experience here, this being a 500 Bonspiel, some of these less experienced teams maybe just used to playing ends a certain way and not used to playing all the different strategies of clean ends versus cluttered ends. So you will see a lot of teams, especially at this level, just sort of play their strategy, and if they're better at executing it than the other team, you'll see something like this, where they're going to be up 7, but then still play on the aggressive steal, as opposed to maybe just clearing the house out and holding yellow to 1 or 2 by just not letting them get rocks in play.
Yeah, so if there's a lot of guards, somebody's going to score.
Okay.
And you're hoping that it's your team, but it's possible it could be yellow with guards in play.
If you had it clean, you'd like maybe blank the end.
Yeah,
which is good.
you definitely keep the number of points scored down.
And speaking of contrary to that, I'll flash you back a minute when you were talking about someone's going to score. Speaking of that, over on sheet C, the 4th end was hung, and it's a 3 spot for Kurt Medland out of Potomac. So he's going to lead over the other Potomac team, Team Hegemony, skipped by Greg Jablonski, and that's a 6-1 game.
So yellow's calling the draw behind the center line guards.
Line looks okay, maybe.
Just going to take that
I can only see
guard.
this on the screen and not on the sheet. Oh, that's going to get a nice roll, maybe, if they can sweep it further.
That's
No,
biting.
It's a biter.
it's a biter. It almost rolled under the corner guard there, but not quite.
There is an emoji explosion happening on the.
Yeah, I think some of that was just sort of shock and awe at the Michael Hutchins discussion, but now there's also a thumbs down about the score on sheet C. We have Heather Curler, Clay Weatherly with rooting interest in Greg Jablonski's team.
Also, question: does the warm room smell like bacon to anyone else?
It does
They are
now.
making
They're
bacon in the
breakfast
kitchen.
That's
So they're
amazing.
they're
Yeah.
making tomorrow's breakfast.
You are not having a very tasty stroke. They are in fact making bacon.
And red makes that hit on the yellow and kind of rolls behind the yellow corner guard.
Yellow is no longer biting.
Yellow's
No
no longer
longer
biting,
biting.
and
No
the
longer
red
biting.
the red takeout rock, the shooter, does not touch the house either. So a lot of guards, nothing in the house.
Yeah, this would be a great steal end. But someone would have to get in the house for that.
It's one sweeper on this, trying to get a little more curl out of it, but I think there's just too much
That
weight.
might wreck
actually,
nicely,
they're gonna
actually.
wreck on the guard, roll to biting
Whoa.
under the reds.
That's a pretty good spot.
That is going to turn into a really nice result, because the red guards being staggered like that means the runbacks are not as open.
Yeah, it's pretty tough to get at that rock. Unfortunately, it is only in the top 12.
Right, it's not in position to take over the end.
Looks like they're calling for the in-off here. Actually, and if they do this, they may end up with 2 rocks in the house.
Yeah, I think the original call was to draw, but no, with that broom, they're definitely trying to. Oh, what just happened here? Someone hit my table while I was clicking, and I accidentally double clicked.
This is going to catch the wrong side of the rock. But
Oh, wow. That was
what a great accident.
Plan B. Plan B.
I don't.
That
That
is
was not. That was Plan
a
Z.
great-
Something. It was not high on the list.
Hats are being thrown in the warm room
So
right now.
that red was definitely not what's called, but it ends
Cowbells
up in a
are-
great spot behind cover. Yellow's in a tough spot right now, and they are calling a draw down to that same stone from the outside, which is definitely more difficult.
I mean, if you can get to the corner of that rock, it's not.
It's pretty well covered.
It's in good. You're being in good shape, but yeah, it's tough to get there.
If they get around the guards, they're in a good spot.
I don't
They
think
don't get
they're.
around the guard.
Oh,
They also didn't have the weight. But that's a stone they can use now.
you can run that back for sure.
Yeah, I would be looking to run that back, which is why red tabs right in front of it says, let's not let them do that. So red looking to guard the yellow stone to prevent the run back.
Sorry, Everyone should be reading the comments on the stream right now. They're very hilarious.
I can't see them.
It's all about how strokes of genius. And
Well, yeah,
it's all
Courtney was
amazing.
asking,
Bacon.
how can you have a tasty stroke? Someone was asking, stroke in what sense of the word? Heather Curler described that to mean of genius. I don't have to read the chat to you. You're watching and you can see the chat.
You've got the chat right there.
Yeah.
It's a really good chat. You guys are doing really solid work.
I really appreciate the work everyone's doing right now.
We have the best fans here at Potomac, the greatest
the very best fans.
Oh, how many people are watching right now?
I'm just checking that myself. We
40.
have 40 viewers. The
That
best,
is 10 times larger than typically we have.
the best
I've been told.
stream, the greatest stream, the best words, all the best words.
We're gonna put a tariff on the other ones.
No.
Topical.
Oh, that was very close.
so close.
Very good try.
Woo! And the Philadelphia team knows it. They're wiping their brows, going, "Whew, dodged a bullet." That does open up that side, though. You can see you can see the path to that rock now. So Philadelphia's going to try to cover it up.
Nick, I'll pass this one to you. Jason, when we say that the score on sheet C was hung, he's asking how well hung was it?
I mean, hold on, let me stand up.
You've got to prepare yourself.
It's at least 6, girl. Six and thick. What? Golf claps.
Yeah, there's some golf claps in the warm room right now.
Betsy's doing like the silent clap where she like doesn't really want to clap, but
I'm just doing a golf clap. It's
She-
effective. For
She
being-
wanted to clap. She wanted to clap.
Yeah.
Your
It's hard-
fiance wanted to clap for me. How does that make you feel, Laura?
Facial expressions don't work.
they don't work. But I think my silence works.
Oh, shit.
Michael Ray asking, is it still tied on sheets A, B, and C?
Yes, of course it is, Michael. Of
Yes,
course it's
sheet
tied.
A is tied 3-1, B is tied 7-0, and C is tied 6-1. Sheet D, though, actually is tied because there's no one playing over there.
Potomac is winning on sheet C. That is correct, Jason.
I like the matching shirts that are happening on sheet A.
Those are actually the Bonspiel shirts.
Oh.
So
They're very thematic.
yeah. So most of the participants here got those shirts.
Dykes thematic?
Yes.
Okay.
On the front of it, they'll have a 1965 patent of a curling stone.
Betsy told me that the first curling stone was during Stonehenge,
I don't.
the time of Stonehenge.
Laura believed me.
And
I don't think that's right.
no, it's not right.
I think that's a lie.
Yeah,
No, 'cause
but Laura
Stonehenge,
believed
Stonehenge
me.
is like ancient, isn't
A
it?
Neolithic
it's-
curling stone. Yes.
And
In
curling
fact,
only goes back
Stonehenge
about.
was the original house. Everyone was throwing towards it.
Those actually were the original
Oh.
stones. You
It
don't
was
really
built-
want to know how hard it was to
That
get draw
shot
weight.
was
but-
Yeah.
very, very close, but unfortunately it was just a little bit wide, so it rolled out. So red is still sitting 1.
That is a well-guarded rock. Or it will be a well-guarded rock if the Philadelphia team has their way.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the scoreboard and you think, oh, maybe the yellow team just not playing that well in this game. They've certainly played fairly well this end. Just the thinnest of margins off on some of the shots. Red just sort of blanketing the free guard zone. It's a good strategy when you've got 7.
And imagine when there's the 5 guard free rack zone.
It's coming.
What we
Oh.
need is more guards in this game.
So many guards. My only concern is there used to be the 3 rock rule, and then they made it 4 because there wasn't enough scoring, and now we're going to make it 5.
I can't wait
Are
for
we
the
just going to add a rock every couple
7
of
rock.
games, and we're just going to have
15
7
rock
guards?
rule. We're going to have 15 guards and 1 shot to... Yeah. No, I think 5 is the logical end of that.
Or are we just going to go to like mixed doubles rules, and the 4 rock rule isn't the free guard zone? It's just the whole house. You just can't throw takeouts anymore.
Ugh. Mixed doubles. Ugh.
Well, yeah, I know you prefer your doubles non-mixed.
Right? Thank you.
Yeah, when are they doing that?
What are they doing the unmixed doubles?
Just doubles, some might call it.
Yes.
No, it's strictly unmixed. If your doubles are mixed, you would not be allowed in this tournament.
It's a very different kind of a game. Something, hanging scores. I don't know, whatever. Chat.
Hanging 6 and think? Question mark?
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for supporting my journey. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Something's being held for review.
I'm going to say show with
I think show that
I was going to go ahead and show that.
that.
I'm going to go
because
ahead and
Rob
moderate
is
that.
correct. Rob is correct.
It's not particularly. I mean, they're using. I can see why YouTube filtered that, but there's no.
But
I don't
Rob,
think
you
there's any
are
particularly
correct.
inappropriate words there. I mean,
That's also scientifically proven.
Yeah.
maybe. I mean, maybe they'd be inappropriate other times. It's 11:40 p.m.
Yeah.
on a Friday night.
And that's actually what we were talking about.
It is.
Then
It's
yeah, it's topical.
Rob is listening to us right now.
Fool.
Yellow throwing a heater in here, trying to make an angle raise.
Oh.
They did take out a yellow stone, but I don't think that's the one they were aiming
And
for.
I think they're calling for handshakes.
Aw.
Yep, they're calling for handshakes.
And that will be game.
We do have other games going on. Are we going to switch to those?
Yeah, I guess let's cut over to the game on A. That's the
A.
other A event game, and it's also not a 6-point game. But we will keep you apprised
It is
on
tied.
the score.
It is tied. It is tied at. That can't be 3-1, can it?
Yes.
Is this only the fourth end?
That
that way.
would appear. They're in an even-numbered end. There's only a 3 on the scoreboard.
All right, one team just went off, and the other game is in the fourth end. All right.
The game on C is only in the 5th end. The game on B that we just finished was also only just finishing their 5th end. They just decided that 5 was enough with the score of something approximating 10 to nothing.
Large to, yeah. I mean, it was tied, but still 10-0.
It was tied 10 to nothing, right? It was like that World Cup game where the U.S. won 1-1, I think. It was U.S. over England, and all the headlines said U.S. wins 1-1 because a tie was good enough. So we do apologize for the sort of weird angle. The cameras are mounted over sheet B, so when you're looking at A, this is just what it's going to look like.
Just physics.
Yeah,
Physics is dumb.
We're not yet to the point where we have a sky cam or cameras on every sheet or
No
the whole
drones.
ice shed
Or you could
blanketed
even just
in
like get a
cameras.
track, right, where the camera slides from sheet to sheet.
I will say that certain technical coordinators here at the curling club were looking into pricing on those. And by certain technical coordinators, I mean Michael Dobbs.
When you said certain technical coordinators, the only name that came to mind was Michael Dobbs.
Because who else would it be? But I mean, I do agree that it would be kind of cool to have something like that. So the game on here, sheet A, starting their 5th end. We'll wait to see what the score was in the 4th end, and I'll get that on the board for you as soon as I know. Red opening with a center line guard.
A little off center.
It's in the center zone, but yeah, it's not
Center-ish
touching the center
guard.
line. He goes by Tech God now. That is what it says on the back of his shirt for the Bonspiel, yes. Not sure who authorized that, but that's what it says. Yellow looking, I think, to draw behind the center line guard. But they're just going to end. Oh, they might actually get this to the house. Sweepers are going at it. No.
Not quite.
Oh, there it is. I was like, when are they going to put up a score? They did. It was another 2 for Dave Schmell in Bucks County.
So
they are now tied 5-1, and this box is not letting me type in it.
Oh, we got the broom dropping thing because that's hilarious.
I never really understood that.
I don't like it, and that's all I have to say about it.
That's a good position on that.
That's why there was a dialogue box that was reminding me that the cameras in fact moved. I was aware, but thank you, app. Now I've got your score updated 5-1. A 5-1 tie in favor of Dave Schmel and Bucks County. And I don't know if that was the called shot or not, but that ends up being a pretty nice raise of that center guard.
I think they can probably see all that rock, but still, that's a nice.
I think the call probably was draw around, but when you tap the guard, that's a pretty good thing to do with it.
And the weight was good on that, right?
It's straddling the tee line, so that's probably the weight they were looking for as far as a draw.
Just a tick behind it, but yeah.
Have any of you been to a Midwest Spiel? My arena club is looking to send a travel team or two out to start building more relationships and build legitimate club ice. Those of us on the stream, I haven't, but I think the rest of us have. The rest of you have.
I've been to Fort Wayne a couple of times. I know a number of people at this club have been to Columbus. So some people at the club started at Columbus, actually. Sorry, what was the question?
Have you been to a Midwest Spiel? My arena club is looking to send a travel team or two to start building more relationships.
Yeah. So yeah, I've been to Fort Wayne. Fort Wayne's great. That's a summer spiel. It's in August, I want to say.
I went to Chaska a couple summers ago.
That was a good time.
Yeah.
Were we there at the same time?
Probably.
Yeah. I mean, I spent the whole time drinking at a restaurant. So.
Yes.
For like $3 a beer.
I don't remember it being that cheap, but it's possible. It's the Midwest.
I've not been to any sort of Midwestern spiels in the United States. I have been to Oakville, Ontario, as I mentioned earlier. That was for the Left-Handers World Curling Championship. So that is why I keep insisting that every team should have someone that throws out of the other hack.
Were you left-handed world champion?
I was the 4th event winner.
So you were like 9th place.
Yeah, that's pretty reasonable, yeah.
Yeah, all right. I mean, that's better than I would be at left-handed curling.
Yes, so as we move on towards midnight, Michael Ray points out that when someone recommends Detroit, they recommend the D, and then we went there.
There's also an eggplant emoji.
Yes.
Yeah,
in
the
case it
eggplant
wasn't.
is critical. Oh, and then now there's a peach.
It looks almost more like a beet, but yes, it's a peach.
It's the peach.
It's clearly the peach because it looked like a butt, and that's what peach emojis.
Thank you for explaining emojis.
I'm glad that the straights are finally catching on to gay emojis.
We use those too.
No, straight people don't have butts.
Oh, I was just talking about emojis. We use emojis too.
Oh, sorry. Looks like they're playing for a draw here.
I think that's what they called.
Trying to come behind that guard and also guard their shot rock. They're going to bounce off that. Nope, they're past it. Shows what I know.
That's a really nice shot.
Yeah, they probably wanted that about 2 feet deeper, but that's a great result.
Yeah, I think they wanted a biter, but that is going to guard shot stone very well.
I really cannot tell from this angle how well it guards it.
Hold on.
Yeah, we don't have the best angle. I'm sitting over on sheet C, and I can see all of the shot stone, but I also wouldn't be allowed to throw from over here. But I do have another score update on sheet C. Team Kurt Medland, the 6th Potomac team in this Bonspiel, at least according to their name that says Potomac 6, puts up another 2 in the 5th. So that score is now 8-1. Tied in favor of Kurt Medland. You know, every draw that I'm on, there's always some kind of running gag, and I think all the games are tied, but some are more tied than others is a good one.
Yeah, that was me not paying attention to a game at some point.
You know, Red? Yeah. Ugh.
Yellow, I'm not sure what they were trying to do, if they were trying to get around the red there or maybe move it to the side. They tap it up a little, but I don't think they've made it second shot. So
No.
red's still shot. I think the yellow is still second.
Yeah, I think that's correct.
How many more?
Red now playing the draw here, it looks like. Drawing the same way as their other shot. Sweeper's on it right out of their hand.
Sweeper's on this very hard.
Sweeping in a way that 10 years ago would have been completely illegal.
I mean, I think the broom was still moving sort of side to side a little bit, no?
Does the broom have to move side to side? Question.
Technically, yes.
It used to, like a little bit.
And it had to cover the whole, like...
It had to cover the whole
cover
running
stone,
surface,
whole
yeah.
running surface.
Okay, so
That is no longer the rule.
oh.
Basically, they like threw up their hands like, we can regulate your fabric, but we can't regulate your sweeping.
Was that the outcome of Broomgate?
Yes, it was.
I see.
Broomgate.
So there, around the time of Broomgate, when they were thinking about, oh, the problem isn't the broom, it's just the problem is how people are sweeping. And there was a shot, I want to say it was at Worlds, where a stone actually was pulled by an official because of an illegal sweep.
Really?
And everyone realized that you couldn't really tell if it was actually an illegal sweep or not. And they were like, this is dumb. Let's just all get the same broom, and we can sweep however the hell we want. And that was much easier to enforce, because you can just look at the broom before the game, see that it's legal, and then just stop caring about it. Because you're not allowed to change your broom in the middle of a game either. So if your broom is legal at the start of the game, then it's legal throughout the game.
One hopes.
Could you like Mission Impossible it though?
Dun, 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 dun. I think
Your
probably that's not worth it.
I think actually instead of Mission Impossible, I think the movie you want is Godfather.
Okay.
And you want to have an extra broom just like taped under a bench outside the shed.
Or like in your like violin case, because everyone shows up to Bonspiels with violin cases.
That's true. I've seen that.
Yeah, that's totally normal.
Yeah, it's totally fine.
Or in like the beer case here, just, oh, I'm just going to go in here and get a beer. And
Casually,
oh,
there's a new broom. Who
casually,
knows?
yeah.
I'm gonna pebble the ice with your blood.
So yellow does a really nice shot there. They promote their own into just biting the forefoot. I see some fist bumps on that shot.
Don't pebble ice with blood. I feel like that would ruin the ice.
Do we have the right
Really?
overhead? Oh, no, I think our overhead camera is frozen.
Uh-oh.
'Cause
Yeah,
that is-
it looks frozen. To
No,
me.
I think that's right.
correct.
So it's right on the monitor. Oh, I
his
think
head,
the problem
his
here
head
is...
moved. His head moved.
Oh, there we go. Sorry, it was right on the monitors, but it wasn't right on my screen. There's that shot you're looking at there, the Yellowstone in the house.
They're trying to run back
Strong
here,
ends.
and right off the skip says probably not going to go back or right the angle.
Yeah,
They're actually going to
that's
flash entirely.
a bit wide.
That wall side on sheet A is really finicky. Get a little bit up weight, and it just floats right out.
Yeah, this is where the Suicide Squad here might have a little bit of a home ice advantage on sheet A. I can remember an end that I played on sheet A in a Francis Dykes Bonspiel here as a Potomac team against a non-Potomac team where my team stole a 6, mainly because of home ice advantage and knowing how to throw rocks down that wall side. So Yellow with the nice run back and sitting shot might be able to get a multiple here and get back into this game.
Do they have access to that second shot rock? Because that would bring the biter on the front into play. I don't know that they do.
I don't think so. There's just so many guards out there.
Yeah, it looks like they're playing the tap on their centerline guard, right?
I think so.
Sweepers are not engaged with it yet. Here they go. I think that's not light.
No, that's another nice tap back.
Very nice.
Nestling it against
I-
the first one.
I
I
think
can't
that's still just
tell.
one shot. I think that's still just one yellow.
Probably. From the camera here, I think it probably is. I think the red is second.
That was a very nice shot, though.
Looks nice. I will say it looks nice.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it's actually just kind of a bummer because now you've made that shot but you just didn't quite make it enough. There's not really a way to keep running that line now because you have that stone kind of in the way.
Yeah.
That's not going to get second shot. You really, at some point, have to find a way to get to the red second shot stone. And maybe you have an angle on that outside yellow that I'm pointing out with my mouse cursor that you can't see. So
you do have an angle on that shot, but it's hard to get to that rock. That's the kind of rock where you'd put the broom down exactly where you want to hit it and hope that
throw it as hard as you can, basically?
You don't even throw it as hard. In fact, I think if you throw it as hard as you can, it'll float on you. But I think you want to throw it pretty hard.
Red now probably just looking for some sort of guard to just prevent yellow from getting any more into the house. Red would love the score of this end to just be one yellow.
Yeah, one yellow is great for them. That is a lot of rocks in play. It looks like
it's a sea of rocks. From
a sea of rocks.
Sea
That's
of rocks.
A very biblical phrase.
I try.
And we aren't yet using the 5-rock rule, but there are 6 at least free guards, maybe 7 depending on where that red stone is above the house there, but I think it's biting. So we've got 6 guards, 5 in the house.
And 2 out of play, so that's a lot of rocks.
So many rocks.
Of the 2 rocks out of play, both of them red. Yellow with every stone they've thrown still on the sheet. They look like they might be looking at that angle. Could be huge if they can get it.
Some bold running on the ice.
Is that? The Vice here seems unconvinced.
He's refusing to put his broom down.
It's like, you just throw whatever you want. I don't
He
even
had it
know.
down, and then he picked it up once the skip got to the hack.
Are they asking for the double run here?
Wow.
I think that's. Actually, it looks like the skip is directing the shot from the hack.
Oh, okay. I think that the angle is the call. It's not easy, but I think running a yellow is better than running a red because you really don't want to accidentally leave a red in the house somewhere.
Exactly.
Jason, Triangle is based in Durham, North Carolina.
As opposed to Durham, England, yeah.
Well, I just threw that in there in case you're. I immediately thought, well, it's probably obvious that it would be sort of in the research triangle.
Meanwhile, on sheet C, Greg Jablonski just threw a real nice shot to tie that game up at 8-4.
First you said tie that game up, and I was like, what? I was like, I don't think he got like a 7, but.
Tie that game up at 8-4 in favor of the other team.
But one way or another, Potomac is going to come out winning that game. The shot on A.
Overcurled quite significantly. I think probably not quite enough weight on it.
It may have, no, because there's still that really high red guard. I was going to say it may have opened up a shot from the inside at the red second shot, but
maybe.
I don't
think so.
And from the outside, you have to run a double run double.
Oh, now it's a double run because of the peel, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty ugly if you're yellow.
It's going.
If there was a shot at that yellow for the angle on the inside, it's not there now.
It's gone now. That curled so much in the last
really
about 3 feet. I almost think that picked.
It did something interesting.
Yeah.
If it picked exactly the way they needed
it picked
to.
perfectly, yeah.
What's the difference between picking and interesting?
Picks are always interesting.
Oh.
Pick means it hit something.
Interesting means it sucked.
Oh, okay.
Not necessarily, but Often.
Oh, you can like do like the accidental like. I wanted you to hit this rock here, but you hit it here, and you moved 7 rocks around, and that was interesting.
Oh, you were trying to draw. You were 2 feet wide and a little bit heavy, and you made a really nice in-off kind of thing. Yeah. I wouldn't know anything about that.
That's the slop. There is no slop rule in curling.
Yeah, you do have to call your shots, but you don't have to make the ones you call. I was going to say you don't have to call your shots, but actually you do.
You do.
I mean, you don't have to, but
you could blindly throw it.
You could just blindly throw it, yeah.
In fact, we have entire events themed around not knowing what you're doing. But so yellow here throwing the run double, it looks like.
I think that's what they've called.
Or maybe they're trying to get to the angle from the inside. He's not throwing enough weight to get the run double, I don't think.
He's going to rub.
Oh,
he rubs the red. I didn't make anything any worse for them, though.
That was exciting. Not quite there. 1 yellow.
Moved a lot of rocks, all to the consequence of 1 point for the yellow team, the Suicide Squad. That's so fun to say, and such a good team name.
Just keep saying it. Just work it in.
So they're going to reset and get ready for the 6th end. Over here on C, they've just finished the 6th end, but there's like 4 people standing in front of the scoreboard, so I can't tell you what happened. Actually, we already know what happened.
It's tied at 8-4.
It was tied at 8-4, right? Yeah. I already put it on here. They haven't put it up there, but we saw it, so it's fine. Actually, they have put it up there. It is in fact tied 8-4.
Yellow's got a bunch of guards up on sheet C, which is not the sheet we're focused on, but that's the truth. Just accept my word for it. That is the reddest eggplant I've ever seen.
Yeah, the YouTube eggplant.
I'm pretty sure
emoji.
that's a tomato.
No, it's
that is not a tomato. I don't know what kind of tomatoes you're looking at, girl.
In what world is that a tomato?
I don't know. But yellow, I think, wanted to try to put up a centerline guard after scoring 1 to try to maybe steal in this end.
Definitely got center line.
They go top 8, so it's a pretty nice draw, but not what they're looking for. Red is going to take advantage of the fact that it's in the house and remove it from play.
Sweeper's on this right away. Oh, and coming off of it. Looks pretty good. Nope, I'm wrong.
No, it has
it's right past.
I think he's trying to, hoping it'll stick around.
Nope, that's
pretty heavy.
I mean, too heavy to be a draw, maybe a little too light to make that hit, or maybe just too light for that line they called.
It might have been a bit narrow, yeah.
It wasn't bad weight to bump the yellow out, but it's just not based on the line that they were trying to play at it.
Could certainly have hit it.
Absolutely.
Hit it out if he'd hit the rock.
To go back to other sports references, that's sort of like the pitcher and the catcher getting crossed up. The catcher looking maybe for a changeup or something and then gets a fastball in the face.
Is that when they wiggle their fingers around in their crotch?
That is basically all baseball is
wiggling fingers and crotches.
Crotch finger wiggling, which is a phrase I've never said before.
That's what I've
Can't
always
say that
suspected.
anymore.
That's what I've always suspected about baseball.
Okay, so yellow called a draw to the corner, but came up a little light, so it's a corner guard.
Is that a corner? It's so close to the center line, though.
It's really not that close to the center. It's almost entire. Well, it's definitely outside the 36-inch line because I can see the line.
Okay.
It's not outside the 4-foot zone though, but it's not covering the shot stone at all, which is also problematic.
That's kind of in the no man's land. It's not a center guard. It's not a corner guard. It's just kind of a.
It's there.
There.
Okay.
This rock is probably not going to come back. Just pitch that a bit wide. Make it a piece.
It's got good weight to come back. It's going to actually catch it.
It's actually going to push it behind cover.
Oh, just not enough weight again, which is how it was able to curl back so much, but probably didn't have more than backline weight. So the Yellowstone now under the center corner middle guard there.
So for the folks at home, it's better guarded now than it was before.
It is much
Yes,
better guarded.
It is guarded now.
It's actually in a very nice place if you're trying to steal a bunch of points.
If
Which
you're Team Yellow, it's
Yeah.
pretty great for you.
This
rock does not look light.
And so for those of you who aren't watching the clock, it is now 12:04. So the sort of tradition / hoped play of nobody louding until Saturday has come true, because even though the loser of the game on sheet C will be out of the tournament, it's now Saturday.
It is Saturday.
Excellent. A pretty good pretty good shot from.
Do you know where your children are?
We don't have any, so.
I have nothing to add to that.
Surprisingly, neither do I.
And I imagine our cat is asleep.
I think no
What?
matter what time of day it is, if you're not home, your cat is probably asleep.
Yeah.
I'm just so surprised that a couple of lesbians own a cat.
I know, it's a shock.
But only one.
That's the shock.
Next, you're going to tell me that one of them owns a Subaru.
No, that's me. I own the Subaru. Sorry.
That's why he's honorary.
Yeah.
Oh, just
Almost a really nice long
Yeah.
run double there, but it just jams.
he just nuts it, if you will.
Just stuffed it, yeah. So yellow still lying 2, still with a little bit of a guard, but it's not the right color. I mean, it doesn't really matter at the moment, but
They would prefer that were a yellow rock than
they
a red
would
rock.
prefer that to be a yellow rock. Yeah.
They're looking to, it looks like, cover up the second shot rock over here on the left side of the house. Has he been curling with a stick this whole game?
Yes. I
All
mean,
right.
given we've only seen one end before this, so.
He could have been hiding.
That looks like a really good shot, though.
That's okay. It took me until probably about halfway through the gold medal game of the Olympics to notice that John Landsteiner, in fact, does throw with his left hand, as I do.
At least you didn't notice he was throwing with a stick.
And in fact, it wasn't when he was throwing that I noticed. It was watching him sweep, because he was sweeping on his slider, but on
Which is
the other side of the stone from everybody else. I'm like, how could they both be on their slider? Oh,
Now you have a new left-handed hero. Is that
I
what I'm hearing?
do.
Gotta find your left-handed heroes. Search them out.
He doesn't have to. They just present themselves. They win gold medals.
It's like vindication for all of us.
Just picking the guard
And
there.
that's going to be a. Oh, I was going to say that's going to be a double peel. If that yellow goes, actually, that is a double peel.
That is
Because
a
that
double
yellow
peel.
stone is out.
They do leave their red rock, I think, probably covering the best path to the yellow rock.
But the shot stone.
It's
still
certainly open.
exposed.
It's exposed. Yeah, you're right. Well, so
The second shot, I'm not sure about because I can't see what the hack view looks like.
Yeah.
second rock is still exposed. You've got probably a full rock's width there, but
But on the outside of the guard, though, probably.
yeah. Well, and it's going to float there, so you can't throw but more than hack weight on that line. Looks like they're coming behind it, though.
Not a bad play. I mean, it's not necessarily going to help them steal a big end, but it will have them sitting probably 3 after this and make the red team think about what to do.
Right.
Red will have a draw path up the middle open, and we're not anywhere near Skip's rocks yet. So
But it ratchets up the pressure a little bit.
it does ratchet up the pressure, and just you got 3 rocks in the house. There's also a red one sitting there on the edge, too. It definitely takes the blank out of play.
I mean, there's always the round the world triple, but
Of course.
I've thrown those like a dozen times. / never. This looks like it's on the guard. Oh,
Yeah,
you know what?
does.
They may have been just trying to guard second shot here. I don't know why they would have done that, but
they did.
they did.
They did.
That is what they have
Here
done.
we are.
That's very nice.
That's a
your,
good
if
shot
your
for
plan
that.
was to guard second
We're
shot.
face to face, a couple of silver spoons.
Who's spooning who? What?
Oh, yeah, what just happened?
Who's spooning who? Sorry, Katie Kovacs would think that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Silver Spoons, 80s show, sitcom. Ricky
No.
Schroeder.
I'm
No.
sorry, I'm too young for your reference.
Children are terrible, never have them.
Rittenell's going to hit the shot stone. Oh, okay. I thought maybe they were going to hit it thin enough to get a
out?
roll, but
Oh, still in.
Red hits the shot stone, but doesn't move it out of the house.
Is
I
it
think
out
it is-
counting red or not is the question.
Which way are we playing? We're playing this way, so this is the house view you want to see. Turn off that scoreboard. I do believe it is 1 yellow, red second, yellow third. The shot stone, the stone that is now shot, was not shot a moment ago, but that is the one that is under the guards. So yellow not in terrible shape, other than the fact that they're not anywhere near the middle of the house, but...
Great shot, Greg, man.
Looks like a draw is the call here.
It again looks like it's going to overcurl a bit.
Going to overcurl
Be a bit
and
light, yeah.
The sweeper is hurrying hard, but
yes.
not really hurrying hard enough. But I also don't know what they really could have done with that.
Yeah.
Can only hurry so hard.
Wait. Oh, I see the USA curling team is coming up next on the Tonight Show. Exciting for all of you curling fans out there.
Tonight Show is taking away our viewership, I see.
I mean, we're probably more exciting than the Tonight Show, but I can't tell you what to do with your
I'm
life.
saying we're probably not more exciting than the Tonight Show. Apparently the Tonight Show is showing Team USA.
The Tonight Show is peak nerd because not only is it Team USA on the men's curling side, but it's also Weird Al Yankovic and Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Oh, yeah, that's probably checking all the boxes.
Yeah,
for all
that's-
nerds.
Well, you mentioned Weird Al and Lin-Manuel Miranda. Weird Al did just release a Hamilton polka.
Which is weirdly not about Matt Hamilton, but if it were, how perfect would that have been?
You know what? There might be one tonight.
Yeah, there's
Team
going
USA.
to be. Yeah, there's probably going to
yeah,
be.
so here we are,
So basically, we
Face
should
to
have
face.
invited
a couple of
Lin-Manuel
servers.
Weird
Miranda.
Al here.
Why have we not thought of this before?
You know, you get Weird Al, you get Lin-Manuel Miranda. You got 2 more guys, and you got a curling team.
I would watch that.
Or a game of unmixed doubles.
I would watch that unmixed doubles team all the time.
I have nothing to add to this conversation.
Just they
Weird
could-
Al makes his sweep calls with an accordion. It's
yeah.
or we bring him for a Bonspiel, and instead of a bagpiper, we have an accordion player.
There would probably
look
be
at this
some really
shot.
good punny names for Weird Al's team.
Probably.
He's good at puns.
I think we should just write to him to make all our team names from now on.
Just have like a bank of 100 names.
So Yellow's still trying to make this shot, this draw behind the guards.
The problem on this line is that it's really straight until it gets to the center line, and then it
Then it
dives really hard.
curls.
So it's hard to put the broom in the right place for this.
Yeah.
This rock is unfortunately light. I think if it had the other 10 feet of weight, it would have been perfect.
That kind of has been the case on the last 3 or 4 attempts at this shot.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's just, and it is the 6th end, so I don't know, maybe if the ice is starting to lose a little bit of its character.
Getting fudging up a bit.
And some teams have come off the ice, so
Yeah,
it
it's
could
definitely,
be-
and we only had 3 games this draw.
Yeah, it could
so
be changing a
it
bit.
already was warmer in the shed to begin with. Speaking of warmer in the shed, this is not actually a segue, but the 7th end has been scored over on sheet C. Yellow scores another 1 to only be tied down 3.
Which, considering where they were 3 ends ago, is pretty good news.
Yeah, I mean they need to steal a 3 here in the 8th.
And this is the Dykes, so that's definitely possible.
It has happened.
I once gave up a 5 in the 9th end.
Well,
The good news is I was up by 6.
oh, okay. I would say was that the? I guess it couldn't have been an extra. It was the 10-end final then.
It was a 10 end final.
Yeah, I mean, because otherwise in an 8-end game, it really doesn't
Is
matter how
red
many you give up
shot?
in the 9th. You're either giving up one or not one.
I think
Yellow,
red
red
I
is
think
shot.
Red is shot
Red is
now.
shot
Shot.
for sure.
That stopped just in time.
But yellow can get to the nose of that. I won't say easily, but it's not hard.
For the officials at home, there's the view. It does also appear. It does appear that red is shot.
But if yellow makes this, will they be sitting 3?
No.
No,
Two for
unless by,
sure.
unless
They'll be
by make
sitting
this
two.
you mean a really flat double across the back.
Wow. Who doesn't talk about a flat double?
Sir Mix-a-Lot does not like his double flat.
No.
This is curling nicely. This may actually get to the nose of that rock. That's a nice shot. Oh, they
Oh.
should have been sweeping that.
Yeah.
No, it's kind of. I think that's fine.
That it is fine. They
Are they
needed
sitting 1?
yellow. Yeah, yellow is 1 for sure.
Oh, that's why they should have been sweeping.
They
I was
should-
like,
they
that's
needed-
actually a nose freeze is fine, but they really needed to move
they
the red
needed to
get
move
two,
that like half an inch. Yeah.
Oh, they needed to. Well, oh yeah, that only about half an inch. Yeah.
But it does force the 1, which will leave them down 4.
With still more ends to play than there really is time for.
But somehow there's still 21 minutes on the clock.
Well, they forgot to start the timer when the
You are the one in front of the clock.
Was I supposed to do it?
I don't know. All I know is the clock is right in front of you.
Time is meaningless.
It's the last straw of the night. I think they'll probably get a little leeway as far as time goes. But
Yeah.
at some point, we do have to close the place down.
Time is a flat wheel and does not exist.
As long as people are still spending money at the bar, people will happily keep the bar open.
I mean, up until the what
Last
is
call.
required of us by the laws of the
Look,
county.
laws
and
are
the state of Maryland.
stupid. I went to law school, and all I've learned is laws are dumb. This
You're not
rock is
wrong.
not light. Sorry, it's not heavy. It's very light. It's a steal of 1 on sheet A.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yellow does get the steal of 1, which makes the rock being about 6 inches light all that much worse.
All that much
'cause it could
worse,
have been
yeah.
a 2.
It does tie the score up at 5-3.
But for the Dykes play, this is like basically actually tied. They've got time.
There's plenty of ends left.
So many ends.
We will
at
be
least 2. Well, at
we
least
will never
1.
leave.
Probably 2.
I mean, this end could take 20 minutes.
Well, so say at least 1. We're going to at least get 1 more end because they're starting an end.
So after that 20 minutes runs out, do people come and forcibly remove you from the ice?
I hope so.
Or can you just like keep playing? Like I don't acknowledge your rules.
I think
I
it's
would actually kind of root for either one of those things to
Okay.
happen, just for some controversy.
that's what this Bonspiel is missing, is controversy. It isn't missing moisture.
There was some side eye just now.
But the boat races were moist.
I was told not to speak of those.
Wait. Someone just hashtag Ben de la Creme in the Heather Curler, I love you.
I'm not a Bendela Creme fan.
You are. That's because you're the worst person who's ever lived.
Basically, and I lived in Seattle.
No,
so
Bendela Crim is great. I mean, Jinx Monsoon is clearly better, but that whole troop is great. I don't know why you hate Ben. Hashtag.
Mike has no idea what we're talking about.
I don't, and I think I'm okay with that.
But here's a fact about Laura Yee for everyone listening tonight. Laura learned the single ladies dance from some of the people from Bendela Crim's troupe.
I did. It was pretty excellent.
I'm just so surprised that an Asian woman learned the single ladies dance. Sorry, I'm thinking of the right.
Oh, Laura's doing the single ladies dance now to show that she knows it.
There was
Well, I mean, you guys did say you're engaged, so you both have, in fact, put a ring on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did
So-
like it. We did put a ring on it.
therefore, by corollary, they do like it.
Yeah.
Yellow looking to draw behind the yellow guard here. Not going to get by. Not really going to hit enough to run it back either. But they're going to sit with a sort of center-ish guard and a lower corner guard. Red's got a corner guard, which they want because they've got the hammer. And so the free guard zone rule illustrated.
And there are shakes on sheet C.
Handshakes on C.
Hugs and hand pounds and handshakes.
It looks like Potomac's won.
Potomac did win. It was a close game. It was tied right till the very end. And then one of them won, despite it being tied. So, there's a lot of drag race happening in the comments right now, and I'm living for it.
We didn't watch Thursdays.
Oh
So
my God.
Please no spoilers.
Oh my God. Okay. Sorry.
I've seen spoilers, but I am going to try and not reveal them to Laura. It's hard.
Thanks.
So the fact that they didn't finish the end makes me think that the team with the lead,
the team with the lead did in fact
the team with the leading
win.
end of the tie,
Won.
did in fact
The
win that
stronger
game.
tie.
So I will say then that on sheet C, that's your official result, is Kurt Medland, Andy Gross, Tycho Spadaro, and
Nick Saylor.
Nick Saylor. I'm trying to read the name that was crossed out. It looks like
Mike
Mike
Zabronsky,
Zabronsky.
yeah.
He is no longer represented, and they've just scratched his name right out. Nick Saylor there, the new lead. That team, Kurt Medland's team from Potomac, is going to win and advance in the B event. Team Hegemony, the other Potomac team in that game, Greg Jablonski,
Tim
Loudon,
Loudon, David
Dave
Schlanger,
and Eric
and Berm.
It's
Berm.
Bem. It's B-O-E-H-M. It's probably got a pronunciation that's not what it looks like.
I think it's the German word for check. You're welcome.
Oh, nice.
Either way, that team is going to come in second place in that game and be eliminated from the tournament.
But they did play on Saturday.
They did play on Saturday. So we are going to flash you right back.
Where it is the seventh end.
I feel like the seventh end is normally where I get bored of watching and wander off and find a drink.
It takes you till the seventh?
No,
yeah,
it usually takes you like the fifth end.
the fifth, sometimes the sixth, but I mean the seventh I'm really pushing it.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell from this angle, but that yellow rock on the forefoot looks pretty well guarded.
I think it is.
Yeah, yellow's line one, under some guards. The guard that's mostly covering is high, so you can get around.
Doesn't? Oh, they're looking to split the house here. I'm not sure that you want to do that when you're tied by as many points as they are.
No, they do need to try to get a multiple, but I think with this end and another to play, you can steal one and then steal another one, and that's not a bad play.
Are they only tied by 2?
They appear to be tied by 2, yes.
That ends up as a guard regardless, which is
Not bad. Starting to lock in that steal. Maybe give them a chance to slide another one in somewhere to get a 2.
yeah. I mean, that's a pretty good shot stone there.
It's got a little backing, too, so even if you were to somehow run something onto it, there's a
Jam
good chance
possibility.
of
Yeah.
a jam, yeah.
The drag race commentary is going strong. I understand what's going on in the comments. The house, split
Are they
it.
lip syncing for
Yeah.
their life? For their
No,
legacy?
for your legacy,
For their
girl.
Yeah,
legacy,
it's
excuse me.
All Stars. It's for your legacy now.
Girl, you're gonna be shook. So it's this isn't a spoiler, but 90 minutes, 80 minutes, boring as crap. The last 10 minutes, what?
Am I going to be crying? 'Cause
Red,
I need to
You might.
prepare myself.
I don't know if they were trying to draw around that guard or if they were trying to peel that guard, but what they've done is they've run it into the house, and now yellow is lying 2.
2 for
Yes.
sure. Yeah. Well,
I
I say
can't
for
tell.
sure, but it's
It's one or two. I can't tell.
debatable, but it's very close.
very close.
I see the timer's gone to yellow in the background.
Sorry, I'm
Yes.
giving you the wrong house. I will show you that. It's the same view, but upside down.
Can we get a split screen on that?
The split screen of the both? I could set that up, but I don't know how.
They're spending a lot of time looking at that like it matters. At this point, you need to protect your one.
I can give you a split screen like this of the.
That's fancy.
Or I actually think maybe I want it like this, where you get the throwing end and the house end.
And some dude with a sweeper. End. On your left, you will. No, sorry, that's the right. On the right, you will see a Canadian flag.
Well, I mean, it's more like in the middle. It's the right side of
on the right side of the left side of it. So they're going to throw a rock here. It looks like they're guarding both of those rocks. Is the call here?
That's a good call.
That's a good call.
Yeah. It's a good call even if they're only just the shot stone, but if they're two, then that's great.
It's good either way. The weight looks pretty good for guard.
Looks like it's got to work. There it goes. As they say, bitch, you better work. And they spell it with an E and a Q.
Yeah. It's the only
way.
And
look at that thing crank over at the end.
Looks pretty good.
Looks pretty good.
I'm a fan.
That was an excellent suicide.
Ha!
I've been waiting for this moment all night.
The shot here is actually to draw into the corner of the 4-foot, maybe up on the corner of the yellow rock. That's a very precise shot.
Sweepers are down.
It looks like it's heavy.
Is it going to burn?
Just heavy. That will remove doubt as to whose second shot.
Oh, yes, it will. Red now definitely second shot. Yellow with some backing if they want to come down to that. It would then give red an opportunity to sort of stack on top and get one.
Yeah, I think you need to protect shot stone here. Oh, well, maybe you don't. That stone is pretty well protected.
I think it's pretty well protected.
Yellow might even want to try to see if they can make a play to maybe remove one or both of those reds. But
if you can get to the inside of second shot and like just flip over to the left a little bit, punch the one out, pop the other over, and be hidden behind shot, that's great.
That sounds very complicated.
It's not as complicated as it sounds. The question is if they can see enough of the second shot to get there.
Yeah, I don't know. Probably they can.
Yeah, you need the shot to bend a lot, but towards the wall side there, you definitely can.
They needed to bend a lot. Oh, my God.
I also see there's some Bianca Del Rio quotes up on our feed. Not today, Satan.
Not today, Satan.
I'm here for that.
That is a mantra by which I live my life. I also got to explain
Betsy, can you do this work? Not today, Satan.
Not today. Not today, Satan. I did have to explain that to my boss one day.
This looks hot. And not in a...
Not in the good kind of way.
Not in a good way.
Oh, I mean, I can't really tell the line, but it doesn't look terrible. Oh,
it's a little bit too much.
A little bit wide.
Well, I'm completely wrong.
Oh.
The weight is great. The line is wrong.
Yeah, it was just a little bit wide of the target. But it is going to be essentially a freeze.
Yeah, that does create a pocket for red here.
Yeah, yellow sitting to red has not too difficult shot to get the one back out of this, though. But this is only the first of the 4 skip stones to throw here.
Is that right?
Based on what's sitting there, it's what it looks like.
No, this is the last of the vice stones.
Last of the vice stones. Okay,
yeah.
well, I can't even tell how many rocks
I was like,
there.
I'm pretty sure the red has...
Oh, there are still 2 more reds over there, yes.
Yeah,
okay.
Red's got the hammer this time. This looks like it's going to tuck in nicely. Again, I'm wrong.
Is it shot?
I think that is shot. I think that is shot.
It looks like shot on the overhead, but there's not much holding it in.
If you throw 2 more feet at that rock in the same place, you push it out, you roll over on top of your yellow one in the center. You may be sitting 3. The problem is they're all behind. There at least 2 of them are behind the tee line.
Yeah.
You might want to just put it actually in the top 4 in the hopes of running it back on a later shot. Because that's the level we're playing at right now.
See, that player's running on the ice again.
You might want to put a top 4
Nice
just because if you
little
Play by
come,
play.
just
Nice
because
little
if you
trot.
come down to the red,
They
red then has
come down on
red
top
has
of
to
it.
come down on top, sit on the button.
Yeah,
If
no.
you sit top 4, just above the tee line, you cut off the button from the red team.
That was
And
my
that's
thinking
how
as
you
well.
steal, yeah.
That's how you steal, right? And then on your second shot, you actually run that rock back into the thing.
And that's how you steal a bunch.
And that's how you steal a bunch, yeah. The rock is away. Sweepers are not on it.
I can't really read the
Looks a
weight.
bit heavy.
It does look a bit heavy, but it's curling nicely. Here they are. The sweepers are on it now. I don't think they need to be. Yeah, they're going to actually... Oh, this is going to be... Oh, actually over-curled a little bit.
Ooh.
Not shot. It's yellow sitting 2-3-4, it looks like.
You're right. The redstone still looks to be closest, fully on that 4-foot circle.
That was very close.
Red
but,
now, well, I would say with a shot for 2, but red still a few rocks left to throw in this end.
Yeah, I believe that red has 2 and the yellow has 1.
Yes.
They are looking tired.
I'm sure it's been a long day for these teams.
Yeah.
I mean, it's only been 31 minutes.
Good point. Took me a moment to figure out what the hell you possibly meant by that. Then I realized you meant it in the most literal sense. It has only been today for 31 minutes. But this is still an A event game, so whatever the result, both of these teams still playing tomorrow.
That's true.
Still playing later today, I guess.
I get
more
later.
correctly,
I
yeah.
mean, I don't know where in the A event they are.
This is a...
Do they drop to the C or the D from
This,
here?
I believe they're going to drop to the D from here.
Durr, we all dropped to the D. What? Sorry, that was so rude.
I think you... I'm not going to... Never mind.
Does the loser have to play an 8 a.m. game today?
No.
Okay.
That is a nicely... I don't know what that does, actually.
Not
I
a
thought
lot.
that was a nice guard, but... Can you get to the corner of that red rock?
You mean the shot stone?
The shot stone, yeah. Can you, like, just put it on the pin, right? Just put it on the pin. Or just short of the pin. Just, like, that's so easy to do. Just draw to the top of the button. No problem.
I mean, if you can't just draw to the pin, why you the skip?
Why you fronting?
I mean, I can't just draw to the pin, but I'm not a skip, so it's not my job. My job is, clear the guard so the skip can draw the pin.
Just get the most points.
I hear
is your
that
strategy.
that increases your chances of winning immensely.
Exponentially.
There are a lot of stones in this house. I'm just going to say that.
Thank
That there are, though, as I jump back to the overhead, where you see all 8 of those stones in the house.
Yeah, I believe that there's only 1 rock out of play. That does not look light.
It would have to be more than 1 out of play because there's only like 3 left for the end and only 8 in the house. Oh, yeah, there's also the guards,
There's
too.
guards.
Yeah, there's guards,
Yeah.
too, right?
That rock has a lot of weight on it. A lot of weight. Oh!
my gosh.
Oh, what a great shot.
Oh,
I was wrong about how much weight that had. What a great shot that was.
That was very nice.
red now lying 4.
Yellow.
Yellow.
Yellow,
Yellow is
yes.
lying.
Yellow lying 4 in the red circle. Or maybe maybe it's late.
Wow. But red definitely has a shot to just
Yeah.
sit on the button. So
Yeah, sit on the button and negate all 4 of those yellow stones. But if there ever was a pressure shot,
yeah.
this is it. Draw the button against 4.
Draw the button to keep it tied.
There is backing.
Heather has a request for the other commentators. I'll leave it to you guys because I can't read it. I mean, I can, but it won't come out right.
Yes, Queen. Look, Michael, you can just shut the hell up.
This does not look like it's a draw to the pin.
It certainly does not. That's going to get one of the rocks.
That's going to...
That is a steal of 4.
That is a steal of at least 3.
I think that's a steal of 4.
I
It
agree.
probably
It looks
is.
like 4 to me.
The turnaround of the tournament right there. They kicked that other stone out, so either they could immediately tell that it was 3 or 4. It probably is a 4 then, because if it was
I think it was pretty.
if it
there
was
we
not
go.
close, then it was probably 4 yellow. They've hung it, and there it is.
There it is.
The game is now tied the other direction. And the Suicide Squad now tied by 2, as opposed to last end where they were tied by 2.
But now it's tied in the other direction by
Yes.
2. And this is why you play it out.
Untied by 2.
And with this excellent timing, they still have a minute left to start. A minute and 50 seconds left to start their final end.
Well,
I believe that is for the the hammer needs to be thrown in the 7th end to
Yeah,
get
yeah,
it.
Yeah,
So-
they have enough time.
they have a minute and a half to start this end, and the first rock is on the way.
I believe they have
Yes,
a minute and a
they-
half to throw -1 rocks.
They just had to get that one over the tee line, and they did with a minute and 20 something to spare.
How about the shade line?
A minute 24
Tell
seconds.
me about the shade line, Michael Ray.
Laura's just shaking her head right now. She has no idea.
I'm throwing shade line.
Yellow opens with a centerline guard. Probably a good play.
They don't need to steal here. I think you want to force them to 1, right?
I
think
probably
you-
would have played a draw, but the guard is not.
The guard is not
terrible.
bad. I would have played the 4-foot, but I think that the guard is not bad.
Guard's not bad because if they just draw behind it with the second rock, they can bring the end directly into the 4-foot circle and play it for 1 either way, and red needs 2 to tie. So
That's true.
red needs 2 to untie, I guess, if it's already tied.
No, it's always going to be.
It's always going to be tied? So what if it's actually tied? What about tied pods? Are those in play somewhere?
Pretty sure.
This game is all about Tide Pods.
I think I had a couple of those earlier tonight.
Oh, those were jello shots, actually.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm here to clarify that
they
for you.
probably were like 30% detergent.
6 of the 1. And that is a really nice draw behind. A very, very nice draw behind. Probably can see 2/3 of that on the outside, but
Are we going to get a
peel of shame.
Dun, dun, dun.
So to explain further, in case anyone isn't aware, maybe Betsy.
Yeah.
And we talk about the 4-rock rule, about not being allowed to remove a guard before the 4th rock at the end, but that's opposing guards, and you are always allowed to remove your own stone as a guard.
So you can
And
always
so-
wash away your shame.
Exactly.
Okay.
They're going
Peel
to
of shame.
wash their hands of
They're
this.
going to
Oh,
try.
right.
Whoa, don't
Oh, that's
catch the rock. So they were trying to remove their own rock, and instead of the peel of shame, they just had the missed peel of shame, which is actually somehow even more shameful.
Also
like a
shameful,
burn
yeah.
of shame, maybe?
It's like shameception.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The counterpart to the peel of shame, also the run back of pride. They did not get that either.
Okay.
Red probably just looking to draw again / cover that shot stone now. I'm guessing draw again because they're looking for 2.
Well, they're sure sweeping it hard. Are they trying to draw behind it?
They're going to kind of split the house. And by split the house, I mean just sit on opposite sides of the button.
Just to hit.
To, just say, hey, here's a double, go at it. And,
Well-
Sometimes you just have to make the other team make a shot.
The open rock is behind the covered rock.
Oh,
so
yeah, so the double's not really there.
There's no easy double. You can double and flop under.
Is flop under a technical term?
Kind of.
Yeah.
It's
kind
more
of like
technical than you'd think.
Okay. I enjoy a sport that has flop under as a technical term.
I mean, golf has.
they have a
flop
lot of
shot.
weird terms.
Tell me about wrestling and flop unders. What?
I only watched the fake TV.
Oh!
Oh dear! How did that? I didn't even think that there was a rock with court
finding a hole between the guard and both rocks in the house somehow.
Oof.
So the sheet being about 150 feet long.
It's from board to board. It's about 150 feet.
So that makes that something like a 40-yard field goal.
Yes, only
They don't get 3 points for
In
that.
field
they get-
goals, you get points.
Yeah.
right. It's a field goal of shame. There only being this one game left on the sheet. The ice is going to be slowing down. Draw weight's going to be really hard for these teams to find. So
And it's the 8th end, so whatever pebble they started the game with, it's
pretty
not the same as
flat
what they
now.
have now.
So that makes this an incredible shot. That's just great weight.
That is pretty nice because there's lots of shots at combinations of those red stones, but there's no way to get them all.
And you can't
and
be
red
shot
with
when
the
you're
hammer,
done with it.
Yeah, and red with the hammer. So even if you took out 2, red would have a chance to put 1 back and still get a 2.
There is just the slightest bit of, I think you can see the inside of that rock. Maybe just the tiniest bit. They are on that hard.
Hurry hard to the button? Question mark.
No, not to the
Very
button.
hard to the
Not to the
back
button.
stone.
This may just go right through the hole.
Oh.
Well, the red stone went through the hole, which not ideal, but
You'd
yellow
ra-
now with a rock in the house that they can do some damage with later.
Yeah, you'd rather that rock be yours than theirs. And it's really like if you're red here, you really don't want to play on that rock because the chances of
Oh,
it going
taking out one of the 2 you're already sitting, and you
Yeah.
need both of those points right now.
Yeah. So they're coming the other side, guarding this side maybe?
Oh, there is someone in the hack, though. I couldn't see him around the sweeper.
Sweeper's on this hard. Are they around the guard?
I think.
No. Oh,
just the
just
slightest
brushed
rub.
it, and now it's going to roll through the house. That opens up their rock on the outside, the top rock.
But if that rubbed the guard and still went out the back of the house, they probably didn't want it to go into the house because it would have only hit their own stones.
Yeah, I'm not sure what they were calling on that side, to be entirely honest. TBQH, which is how we talk.
You youngsters with your Snapchats and your
Look, I'm a millennial or something. Girl, look how red this looks, girl.
Yeah, I know you're not on Snapchat because Kylie Jenner said that Snapchat's dead, so it must be.
Right. Well, which sent Snapchat stock tumbling like
Yeah, they lost like $1 billion.
20%
because
or
of
whatever,
Kylie,
yeah.
Kylie Jenner tweet. Is this just a peel call here?
Apparently. That's an awful lot of ice for a peel. So he may be trying to catch it really thin, and if he's wide, he catches the rock in the house.
That might be. Maybe they're actually just trying to get around.
This is going to be so wide that it doesn't matter.
Yep, that's going to go on to sheet B, and we already played over there.
That's an unfortunate miss because didn't need that much weight. a regular takeout would have done what they needed to do, but
And honestly, you could even come with almost something like a hack and just kind of bend it around, touch those two reds, and stay in the house somewhere.
exactly. But you get it in your head. You're like, I need to move these rocks, so I need to throw a bunch of weight, and then you kind of overthrow what you're capable of throwing.
And then you overthrow, you flip outside the broom, and I wouldn't know anything about any of these topics.
I've never done any of these things in my life. So it looks like a guard is the call here.
Yes, Alcafluence. These teams are tied by 2. Yellow is tying by 2.
But red is sitting still
at least
2. I think yellow is still third shot.
Show you that way.
I think so.
That's more true to the way they're actually throwing. Yeah, the Yellowstone is third shot.
Trying the peel again here. Better delivery this time by my my mentor in the boat races, who performed admirably, and about which I'm not talking. Opens the center up very nicely.
Yeah, that's not necessarily a full-on peel, but accomplishes all the goals that they need to accomplish. The guard is out of the way. All the red stones exposed. Well, the ones you need to get
the important ones are exposed. Yeah.
The yellow is exposed. You can run that back and do some work with that too. So.
Yeah, that yellow rock is actually really dangerous for red here, and so they've got to do something with it. But
what?
The chances of it going horribly wrong are reasonably high.
I know something about shots that go horribly wrong. I've experienced a few in my lifetime.
I've never done that. I don't know what that. This is not light again. He's shouting hard enough we can hear him in the warm room. What a great shot.
Whoa. They basically peel the yellow out of there, roll back, sit 3 in the forefoot.
The bad news is you come with a bunch of weight and
There's
hit
a
the
triple.
top red. Just pretty, yeah, those all go.
There's a triple or at the very least a double where you stay in because you get caught by one of those. And the chance of a 2 becomes
I think for the triple, you need to hit the one on the center line first.
Oh,
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
and you use the
feel
sideways roll to take the top one out.
I think that's right. But even the double here is in good shape because that leaves you sitting corner frozen on shot rock, and that's all they need.
Well, I was thinking if you hit the one that's there, and even if you don't slide to the left enough for the triple, you get the back 2, and you almost sort of sit frozen in the forefoot there.
This is why we watch this game, people. This is exciting.
This is why you play all 8 ends, too. I mean, the Suicide Squad, they weren't playing badly.
I mean, they were tied by 4
the
after
second,
5.
third, fourth ends kind of got away from them. Well, the second was fine. The third and fourth ends all kind of got away from them.
It stole their way back into
The
it.
fifth,
Stole their way
sixth,
into a lead.
Seventh, just
there's a lot of target for them to hit, and this rock is not coming light. They may actually, no, this is actually not as much weight as I thought it had.
they're going to get the back red one, and they're going to roll not out but away. Leaves red lying 2, and is this the hammer? No, not
No.
yet. This is the red
No.
first skip stone.
What do you do if you're red here? How do you give yourself 3 and do you? I think
I would say you want to draw
like
top 12.
yeah,
so that
biting
you're
8 in
sitting-
front of those
yeah,
two.
no deeper than biting 8 because you don't want to leave another shot at a triple. But if you can be counting third, with the back two as covered, or at least the gap between the back two covered, so they can only hit one or the other.
It looks like they're calling for the draw behind the guard on the left side of the house, about midway through the 8th foot.
What's the strategy for that?
I don't know, because that leaves the double in the center.
Leaves double in the center, and it also leaves just a hit and
But
stay.
that leaves you the hit for 2,
the
right?
open hit,
Yeah, it would be an open hit, true. I guess if you're just counting on either making yellow make a shot and hoping they don't, or letting them make a shot that you have an answer to with the hammer, those are both okay. You don't have to win the game with this shot, but you do have to win it with your next one, because your next one will be the last one of the game, presumably.
Or the last one of the regulation game.
Yeah, and I saw the rules up on the message board there. I don't know if it's an extra end. I don't think
it is a full extra end, and if the extra end is blank, the team with the hammer loses.
That's a good rule. Is that actually the rule?
That is actually the rule.
Oh, good. That's a good rule, because you shouldn't blank the extra. That's weird.
They are sweeping hard on this rock. They seem to think it's going to end up short of where they want it.
Well, they've got it into the 8 foot, so
that
they
is
are
where they
lying
wanted
3.
it.
It's under the guard, I think. I'm sitting at it, looking at it from the side, so I couldn't tell you. But
so that looks like an awful lot of ice on the wrong side of the rock for what they want.
Yeah, yellow needs to remove 2 reds and be counting
and
here.
Stick it, and I think you want to do that from the other side.
Yeah, I would almost even want to. I don't know how much they can see of that one that was just thrown, but if they could hit that one and come down off of that one into the 2 that are in the house.
This is even more weight than the last rock. Oh, maybe they're trying to do the outside double?
I think so.
No? No?
Are they going to maybe get a slash?
Oh.
No.
Well, they're sitting second shot, but this is a nose hit for the win, or hit and stick for the win.
Yeah, it's hit and stay for the win, peel for the tie. The tie beyond the tie that we already have.
Right, of course.
The real tie?
An
A
actual
real
tie.
tie.
Like an
Okay.
actual
I
An
believe
actual
it's
tie.
the realness. The realness.
The real, like that daytime TV show.
Yes.
Not that Laura knows anything
Precisely
about
like that. I will say that this line tends to run really, and I don't know the word for this, but it doesn't curl a lot.
that. Run straight?
What? I don't know. What's
No,
that
that's
word?
not. That's not. That's not. A
What's
thing.
that word
That
you
word
just
is
said?
not in Nick Datler's vocabulary. He can't even think straight.
I don't even get it. Shot is away. Oh, he flipped it a bit. I think this has got to come a long way. Nope, the sweepers are on it. They seem to think it's good. Nope, they're right. That's got it.
He's
Bang.
got the yellow, and he's going to...
Oh, that might... I think it's red, but it might be a measure.
Are we going to get a measure for the last shot of the game? Or to determine if it's the last shot of the game? The crowd in the warm room chanting for bring out the stick.
It's that time of night.
Hashtag get the bar. I was using this. I was trying to get that trending during the last Bonspiel. I don't remember what the last Bonspiel was.
We're measuring. We are in fact measuring for the win/extra.
Was it the short spiel? I think it was the short spiel where I tried to say hashtag get the bar, because they got the biter bar, and then like the 2 rocks later got the actual measure out in the same end, and we're just like, just measure everything. It's the measure end.
Laura's so excited she's leaving in a huff.
Yeah.
She can't take it. She's too much.
It's too exciting.
She's got to go get some water. She's overheating.
Oh, did they kick the rock? Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. They kicked the measure rock, and that's the end of the game.
Well, no, that's going to be 2 red if they don't count that one.
No, they kicked it in. The other team kicked it in.
Oh, the other team
Yellow kicked it in.
Oh, I thought he kicked it himself and was going to.
No.
Oh, no.
Oh, it is a scandalo.
That is wow. Wow.
It is 11:54 a.m.
So hold on, so I've got people tapping me on the
12:54.
shoulder. They're shaking, so that means they're not going to go to the
No,
extra.
that
that is going to be 3 red.
That is 3
That
red
is gonna be
because
3
they were going to
red.
measure the rock, and one of the teams kicked the red. Sorry, the yellow rock. The yellow team kicked the red rock.
I thought it was the red team kicking the red rock, and we were going to have
No.
the
extra
12th
end.
end scenario there, but
That is unfortunate.
that is not the note to end a stream on. But unfortunately, we don't have any more games to go to.
5 and under curling, ladies and gentlemen. 5 and under curling.
The stream team.
That just happened.
That has been draw number, I think, 10 of the Francis Dykes Memorial here in 2018. This is Mike Sell, Nick Datlow, Laura
Cooper.
Yee.
Betsy Cooper and
Cooper, Laura Yee.
Congratulations, y'all. You made it this far.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
We, as in someone else running this stream, will be back tomorrow morning with the next draw. And we've got draws all day tomorrow. So
Just tune in and never leave.
keep
Tune
on
in,
coming.
just
Exactly.
Don't
Tune
leave your
in.
house.
And keep
you don't
chatting.
need friends.
The chat is fun.
Tune in, never leave. Keep chatting. Keep spamming emojis.
All your friends are on the internet. Don't go out in real
What
life.
is the internet?
I don't know.
Good night. Have fun. Watch out for the wind.
Bye.